What's up, bros? Ladies and gentlemen, today I have like the most rarest, exquisite of cards here for sale. I have the Blue Eyes White Dragon, made from like the most prestigious Brazilian paper known to man. The starting bid is like 1,500 Bitcoins. Do I have any bidders? 1,500 Bitcoin! This year was drawn by like ex-Dark Nut Magician. X. Do I see 1,600 Bitcoin? 1,600 Bitcoins. Do I have 1,750 Bitcoin?
Now, I'm just a simple Southerner, but I will gladly give you 2,500 and 6 months to hit OnlyFans.
And so, for 2,500 Bitcoin, you can keep the membership. Alright, gentlemen, our next piece will be limited to 10. This rare card has been rendered to be a PSA 10. Let's start the bidding at
350.
Oh?
All right. 351. Fine. You drive a hard bargain, man. I'll make you this final offer. 353.
I mean, if we're just throwing around random numbers, 350.
Nick, if you take this away from me, I swear to God, I will rip your nipples harder than 50 spray plates at once.
Sold for 353?
Yes! All right. Losers. I'll be collecting my card now.
Sure. I'm just gonna need your digital wallet information.
Digital wallet.
How else are you supposed to store the NFT?
NFT?
You know, rendered at the highest quality.
Recording at 12920 Philadelphia Street, Whittier, California at Undercity Comics. Keeping Up with the Nerds presents... What's that shit number again?
173.
Oh yeah, 173. My name is Noel. I'm one of the owners here at Primetime Collectibles. These are the homie. I'm here with Nick, Rene, Bryan.
I love it.
If you guys didn't know, so Bryan...
Welcome to the show, guys.
Welcome to the show. So we were just talking. So Bryan is cool with big people eating little people, but he draws the line at making out with a decapitated head.
Oh,
That is true.
I was like, where is he going with this, dude?
Oh, that's funny.
You're all like, no, this is fine. This is great. Oh, that's disgusting.
That's too far.
That's too far.
That's
I
too
want
far.
cannibalism without the romance, please.
Is it peaking or no?
No, that's the thing. I was checking. No, he's
Right.
fine right now.
It's fine.
It's
It's
good
all
right
good.
Okay.
Wow, you took over that intro
pretty
like
good.
crazy.
That was
That sounded like a full-on radio broadcast. I'm like,
I was
man, dude,
ready.
that was great. No, I'm not criticizing
I
anything.
want to see Bryan run just.
As you run like that sometimes for fun. And running around the house, why not?
See, there are moments in life where I can make fun of Nick. It's never on the mic. It never is on the mic.
You never make fun of me in general.
Oh, really? Dare I remind you how you were talking about your brother being in plays, and I said that you were a tree, and everyone in the room laughed? Yeah,
Yeah, it's funny.
that was funny.
Yeah.
And you say I don't make fun of you, but there it is.
That's not
Don't.
make fun of me.
Yeah.
It's the truth.
So Nick says you have to start anywhere, like you have to start somewhere. So he chose to be a tree.
He
I
chose
did.
to be
As level 1 Nick.
a tree.
I chose to be tree.
He's still level 1, dude. What are you talking about, dude? He just restarted again, dude.
And then when I was a
This ain't
child,
New
I was
Game
Linus.
You were what?
I was Linus, and
You were not Linus. You were far from Linus.
Linus? Like
You're-
a lioness?
No, like from the Peanuts. He thinks
the
he's the guy
Peanuts?
with the blanket.
I was the guy with the
You were
blanket.
not the guy with the blanket.
When I was in the elementary,
You are more of like
in
a Lucy.
our-
The
in-
stories that you talk about, how you pick on people, you're a Lucy. That's it.
That's
you're
not.
done.
You're not wrong. But I'm saying in our presentation of the Great Big Pumpkin,
You played
I was
Linus.
Linus.
So you lied. You played someone you weren't.
why?
You how did you force yourself into that character, dude? You
I
were
was-
nowhere near
He
Linus.
I was-
started as a tree and he worked his way there.
It's also called acting. I don't think you know this, but Tom Hiddleston isn't actually Loki.
That's so funny, dude.
Are you sure?
That's so
What else
funny.
has he done? I thought so.
Basically
Oh.
nothing. In all fairness, you're right. he hasn't really done a bunch else, but
You were put in a position where I saw your face just fall. Going,
I was like,
crap.
oh dang,
Oh
yeah.
dang, yeah, wait. no,
What
no.
has Tom Hiddleston been? What has Tom Hiddleston been?
Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Issue 173
Very chaotic
of
opening
Keeping
right
Up
now.
with the Nerds. We're already like 3 minutes into the show. Don't forget to check out our website, keepingupwiththenerds.com. Check out our socials, Instagram, Facebook, X. Thank you. And check out our audio platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, not Google Podcasts, because RIP. Don't worry, I got it. I got you. And whatever audio platforms you guys got. We are not on YouTube Music, apparently.
We're not?
No, we have to. I have to try to find a way to do it. And check out our YouTube channel. Why? Because today our guest is Noel from Prime Time Collectibles, a store up here in Uptown Whittier. Noel, thank you for being on the show, guy.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me.
Thank you very much. You killed it. That intro was beautiful.
Thank you.
Great way to start the show. You put Nick in his place several times. I enjoy that. So
You
that's
still
good.
didn't respond to the whole like decapitated, like
I didn't know
I
what to
haven't
say.
said anything about
just
it.
agree. Yeah, like
You
yeah.
just- yeah.
on
No,
point,
because I
on
mean,
point.
yeah, that's true. I've only seen one season of Attack on Titan. I didn't know what you were referencing at first.
What?
And then you were like, "Oh, decapitated head," and I'm like, "Oh, it's Attack on Titan." That's what we were talking about.
yeah, that's what you
Yeah,
draw
the only point of reference I have for that show is one season. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't watch anything else. Do I need to? No.
Yes,
No.
you should.
Okay, then edit every other episode to have the first season intro.
What? Why would anybody go through that much trouble?
If you guys want
Just
me to watch
in-
Attack on Titan,
I'm
I'm not going to skip the intro and every other
you're
intro
just-
besides the
you're-
one that
you're
Renee
just
showed me.
ridiculous. No, you're ridiculous.
No, I'm not
Move on.
ridiculous. It's good.
I have
Move
a
on,
solution.
'cause you're
I have a
ridiculous.
solution. I have a solution.
That's the solution.
The way you edit it is by putting in the Dragon Ball Super intros.
There you go.
Because apparently he's good with those.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
put those,
Yep.
the Legion, the Attack on Titan, it'll be a nice treat. You're like, oh, is this Dragon Ball Z Super? I love this show.
Yeah.
And then suddenly you're
It's
like,
just
oh
Attack on
no,
Titan,
oh
yeah.
yeah, I love this. Big people eating little people.
You know what intro's good?
Hmm.
One Pieces. Even the first one. I enjoyed it. It's very quirky. It's
Can we
fun.
do that as an OnlyFans? Do we just get little tiny gummy?
We're talking
little
about
people?
anime intros.
It's
Why are
like-
you?
it's
Why
like
does your
gummy
mind
little-
go in that
It's
direction?
gummy little people,
Nick,
and then every single
Nick,
time
answer
it's
the question. Why do you,
naked?
Nick? I love how you want total death and destruction. You
big people, little people. That's what you call that one. Just
If you guys enjoyed Cake on Cake, try big people eating little people.
I really want Nick to just follow his dreams
Mhm.
and just be a director for like sex work.
He's not.
No, he's
I think
he's not there yet.
he's not, but I think he dreams about it like every night because that's all he does.
why?
Every time on the
All
show,
he does is what?
it's all he does in the show. If because you listen to the show,
I'm
a
an
lot,
idea man.
right?
Yeah.
So what ends up happening
I'm an
if you
idea man.
follow Nick's pattern is that we talk
I
about
love
something
ideas.
like something nerdy, something like whatever, right? And then if he tries to get under my skin, he doesn't do it by like insults or anything else. It's sex, and he just crawls in underneath to try to like get under my skin, and then he just goes with
Why
it.
does sex get
No,
under your
I
skin?
don't-
Always,
I don't-
always.
Hold on.
I was gonna say that. Why does sex bother you?
It doesn't.
why-
it's just it's
why
their
does that-
first entry point. That's how you get me.
But you
That's
just
how
said. But you just said.
No, no,
it
no,
gets
it's-
under your
it's-
skin.
it's-
Why does
it-
that get under your skin?
It's the way that you go in. It's
Why?
that's your always intro, dude. That's always your
Why
intro.
does it-
Nick
but why
isn't
does it
trying to
bother
get under
you?
your skin. He's not trying to get under your skin. He's just getting triggered. You know what I mean?
Oh.
It's like if you watch an anime and then you're all like, well, it looks like I need to take a long shower. So you start talking about anime.
Were you watching
and
High School DxD? Or
then-
what?
on repeat.
just I'm gonna play the first couple episodes on repeat and just keep on watching.
Nobody watches that show with full volume. Everybody puts it. So you just trigger him. You create
Yeah.
the sexual fantasy and the tension right off the bat.
Me.
Yeah.
No, yeah,
You
do it.
radiate-
Yeah,
and
you
then that's
turn
how he
Nick
does
on.
it.
Yeah, that's just
That's the
that's how that
unfortunate thing
works.
is I don't do anything, and somehow Nick automatically gets the inspiration to just go forth with
I
it.
mean, you
Also,
know,
we
like-
know that it bothers you, so it's
Does
pretty
it
easy.
though? Because I honestly don't pay attention to you sometimes, and I'm just like, okay, no, because I've noticed this.
Look at this.
I've started to learn to just react to his stuff immediately, just to let it go, just so that way he gets everything out of his system. That's fine.
That's the kink.
Because I've noticed that when I don't, you think that's his kink, dude?
It's the immediate kink.
Yeah, that actually makes sense because
I don't kink shame.
I
Shame
did
is shame.
No,
Yeah,
that's fine.
That's the kink.
But I did the thing that you told me months ago, which is don't react to anything Nick does, and then he'll stop. And then I did that. And the thing that I noticed, because I pick up on patterns, is he just keeps poking and poking and poking, and it's like, dude, this guy won't stop. So I might as well just let it, just go ahead, have your fun, dude. Go ahead and have your fun. It's fine. It's fine. If that's what your creative mind works, if that's the way you process things, Nick, by all means, go for it, dude.
I don't know why sex bothers you so much.
It doesn't bother me.
I'm glad we're having this
You
conversation
bother.
right now with us, with
I
our
know,
guest
it's
Noel
good.
from Primetime Talk.
He's the one that brought it up.
I know.
He's the one that wants
You know
to
what?
vent right
Noel
now.
just started to add spices, dude. He's literally ratatouilleing this entire
he
thing, dude.
gave us coffee and sweet treats right now, so
It's
it's
true.
like,
Literally lured
The
me into,
coffee.
dude. Okay, because that was the whole bit before you got here. Because you were supposed to be here at 6:15. You're like, oh, I'm on my way. I messaged at like 5:45, and I'm like, I'll take like a quick 30-minute nap.
I had to stop at Mother's Touch.
That's fine. No, that's fine. I was just caught off guard
You
because
need it.
yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's just that when I got here, I was rushing because I was like late. I'm
Mhm.
like, oh shoot, Nick's gonna give me crap for this. Nick wasn't here.
You're
Noel
usually
shows
late,
up
too.
like half an hour early. He's like, oh, do you want to go to Providence Bakery? And I'm like, what? Like, yeah, let's go.
Mhm.
Okay, well, I'm gonna take my phone. I was like, no, leave your phone charging. I thought that was it, dude. I thought I was gonna die.
He's
I
taking
was
it out.
gonna-
Get a shovel.
Should have.
that was it, dude. Takes me right down over
You
here to
wake up, like, what are you doing? I'm burying you.
welcome to Providence, dude.
Just stepbrothers him. Just what are you doing? I'm burying you.
You're waking the businesses.
Just let the dirt shower over.
Yeah.
So we go to Providence Bakery, and he starts like, what do you want? I'm like, what? I can pick anything? He's like, yeah. So I pick out the strawberry jellied cronut that they have, and then I start choosing different bakery items for you guys. Noel comes up straight. He's just like, oh, 4 café de ollas.
Yeah.
Dude, best café de ollas I've
Fire.
ever had, dude.
Really good.
They were really good. I downed mine.
God.
I downed mine too.
I'm still
I got
sipping
the-
mine, dude.
I
I'm
got the
enjoying
coffee
it.
craps before.
I'm trying to save a little bit left.
Yeah, see?
No, I
It's-
chugged
it's-
it. I chugged it, and then right before we had to record, I was like, "Oh, I gotta go in there." I was like, it hit me.
Dude, and that's not, he wasn't even done. We start walking back with all these treats.
Did you hold his hand?
No, he
I
literally
wanted
like,
to.
You should have hold. That sounds like a great
But Our
date.
hands are full, so we couldn't.
You could have like locked arms. You could have just.
Could have been like, "I got this sweet treat and my sweet treat."
Yeah, I'm surprised. It sounds like a great date.
Yeah.
here's the thing. He hits me with the, oh, and the owner's watermelon. I'm, oh, my people. That was it, dude.
Like, that's the homie? That's the homie?
Is that my aunt? Is it my uncle?
I wouldn't be surprised, man. But yeah, no, you buttered us up with like treats, and now you're ratatouilleing over the pot, putting spices and different vegetables, getting us all riled up, dude. This is
Yeah,
your plan all
when
along?
Bryan
Kidding
ate
who?
his donut, guys, he obviously, he was quiet for like a good 3 minutes.
I realized that Brian.
And we're like, "Hey, how is it?" And he's all, I'm like, "Give me something. Tell me it's like Flavor Town or something like that." He's all,
No response.
he takes another bite. It just goes.
the world's worst food critic?
You shut up because you did the same thing.
No, I didn't. I went.
You
that's
took
really
no.
good. I said it's very
you were
moist. It's
literally
flaky.
like over the counter, dude.
I did. Hold on. Didn't I say?
You
Wasn't
said-
I giving
Oh,
descriptions?
sorry. Your second
Wasn't
grade
I saying
vocabulary,
that?
dude. Second grade vocabulary over here, going like,
what?
oh, it was flaky, and it was
It's
creamy.
moist. I
And
told-
then you
yeah.
were like, oh, how was it?
The cheesecake was good.
Yeah, I went. Yeah, but I said it was good. I
Yeah.
said it was good. It was very.
Did you guys
moist.
end up switching cheesecakes?
We tried.
No, we just fed each other cheesecakes.
Oh,
Yeah.
lock
You weren't
arms.
invited.
Yeah,
you weren't
we just
invited.
It was sexy.
You didn't want to.
But,
you didn't want to share your cronut.
No,
No,
I
he
like my
didn't.
cronut.
No,
That's
he
true.
didn't.
You
Stingy
did not.
jerk.
He's keeping that
He's
to
like-
himself.
Yeah.
He's like, we're like, can we try some? He's
Look,
like,
man, I
no.
don't treat myself to a lot of things, all right?
Uh-huh.
So I feel like I deserve that one. Thank you, Noel.
No, you're welcome.
Thank you, dude.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
It made me happy
Yeah.
today. I was pretty mid today, and then I saw cronut and the
He
gates
was
of
so
heaven opened up, dude.
excited.
A cronut
Yeah,
from.
yeah.
like-
Dude, he was so excited that as he was like talking over the pastries, he leaned and started moving.
Oh, really?
And I was
No
like, "Yo,
way.
chill, daddy, chill."
Look, man, I
Just
said
knocks
this.
over everything. Just like, oh, can I get that cronut?
God willing, I go to heaven, right? You know how I'll know I made it? If I smell chocolate and bacon at the same time. But I think I realized my new love, dude. It's that cronut.
The cronut.
Oh my God.
Speaking of heaven, I got a question for you guys.
What's up, dude?
If you guys were to expire for whatever reason and made it to the afterlife,
That's a long shot for me. But
and if you think you're in heaven,
yeah.
what would be a sign that will let you know you're in the bad place?
If I
Me?
saw my mom.
You saw your mom?
Yeah.
Mine
Oh
would be Tom
no.
Cruise.
Yeah.
If
Why are
saw
you
your
laughing,
mom,
dude?
you're like,
You can't laugh. You can't laugh. Dead parents
I know.
stuff.
I just immediately was like, oh, really? Okay, no, cool. All right. You're going to dive into that?
Yeah.
That's a wound. That was a wound.
How would I know, dude?
How would you know if you're in the bad place?
Yeah.
Mine's Tom Cruise.
You're in
What?
Yeah. If I just like was there walking around, I was like, oh, I made it to heaven. This is awesome.
Hey,
And-
Noel, you made it.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. And his giant teeth just start
Yeah.
hacking away. I would freak out. I was like, oh my God.
What
this
if,
is
like,
laughing
I
and
messed
chasing
up.
you?
What if you
Yeah.
see Tom Cruise in the distance,
yeah.
right? What if you see Tom Cruise in the distance, right? And as he starts approaching you, he gets taller and taller and taller. And then he's like right up to you and he's like Titan size.
That's a nightmare. That's a nightmare.
That's it,
Wait. Beginning of a new fetish, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then he
It is.
stomps on you.
And then he
Yeah.
eats me because I'm the little people.
Yes.
Big Tom
Start
eats
selling
little.
into Scientology, dude.
Yeah.
Big Tom eats little men.
Big Tom eats little Noel.
What would be your sign?
And he's laughing.
What?
What's your sign? You'd be in the bad place.
If everything's too nice.
Yeah, that's true.
You want a little bit of grit in heaven? That's what you want?
Oh. Do I get deep? No.
Want to?
Whoa.
I kind of don't,
There we go.
but I kind of do.
Let's
I
go.
mean, I went full on like.
Yeah. That was like.
Because
yeah,
that
yours
kind
was
of
sharp.
no,
Yeah.
because what Nick says is kind of like I don't like good days, like sunny,
If
cloudless
everything
days.
seemed too perfect.
Yes, I
Yes.
hate it. I get a lot of anxiety because that was the day before my dad passed. Sunny, no clouds, perfect temperature.
Oh, so you have that complex of like, this is too good of a day. The other shoe has to drop at some point.
Exactly.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
That's how. That is how I feel too.
Okay.
Yeah. It
I'm having
just,
too good of a day. That means that's something bad.
Equivalent exchange. There has
Yes.
to be balance.
You your pants.
can you write that down for me? Oh, actually, I need a pen. Okay. 1655.
That's equivalent exchange right there. It's too good of a day.
I mean, but I feel like that's kind of like a normal Hispanic thing, isn't it?
What?
Like you can't necessarily have too good of a day because you're always fearing something else is going to happen.
Oh, yeah. It's
Right?
because we live in fear.
It's
Always looking over our shoulders.
Which is always it.
it's hereditary from our
It's from our
from
ancestors.
our indigenous ancestors. Or they're like, oh, hi, I would like to give you these furs. And then you were like, oh, all right, this sounds good, but what was the catch?
But when you walk around, don't you not look around you to see if there's anybody walking?
Oh, I'm always paying attention
Yeah.
to everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I get one of the G Fuels?
Because you kind of expect it.
Thanks, sir.
You kind of 100% expect it.
Yeah. No, I completely get you.
Oh, you guys are sponsored by G Fuel?
I wish, dude.
Why is there so many?
Well, we just got a case of it.
This is where you lie and says we would like to. We would like to be sponsored by G Fuel.
You know what?
Grab one.
I thought about it. Do we want to get sponsored by an energy drink at some point? Sure.
I would love to be a sponsor. That means I don't have to buy them anymore.
But that's the thing is that G Fuel's kind of a thing of the past now.
Is it?
Ghost
I
is,
feel like-
Ghost is bigger now.
Ghost is bigger, but they're still underground. Gamer
like
Subs is like sponsoring a bunch of influencers.
Monster is still relevant.
Monster Z
Rockstar-
Laner got sponsored.
Rockstar is no longer a thing.
Watermelon. The zero sugar watermelon is
Red Bulls?
chuggable. The monster one
Oh yeah.
is chuggable.
Those
You know,
are
they're
good.
kind of like refreshing where you kind of want to breathe while you drink. You're like,
Because you don't want to stop the chain.
yeah, yeah.
That's like
Yeah, but the
fat people
watermelon
problems
one.
right there.
It is a fat person problem.
What if we get sponsored by Red Bull, but we have to do like extreme stunts in order for it to happen?
I mean,
jump
can you
like
do-
Benji.
Can you do extreme stunts?
God,
Yeah.
no.
Is that a thing you can? Is that
God,
on your
no,
list
dude.
of things I can do?
We do extreme stunts, but miniature. Instead of jumping off a cliff, we jump off a curb.
It's just your deck. Just
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
with the tech deck, just go like, all right, guys, I'm gonna attempt to jump off this coffee cup.
What if it doesn't have to be physical? What if it could be like something that happens? Like, you
it's
know?
true. Can I just punch you in the nuts and I get Red Bull?
No, it's just
Get red balls for Red Bull.
Hey guys, my name is Bryan. This is Keep It Up with the Nerds. We're gonna be sponsored by Red Bull. This is Nick kicking me in the balls.
This is the red balls.
and then me and Rene get you both and just lock you guys in a room for like 24 hours.
Oh, God.
Dude, that's torture, dude.
Why is that a video?
I feel like that is a video.
yeah.
You know what would be a great video? Put us in an escape room.
Oh my god.
That actually would be a really funny
That would be
video.
funny.
No, the horror ones. Get the ones where
just
like you have to sign.
Me and
You know?
No, Brian doesn't
'Cause
want to do
Brian
that.
doesn't
I'll
do
do
well
it.
on those.
I'll do it.
He
I'll
wouldn't
The
do
ones you have
well.
to crawl through
You wouldn't-
water and people yell at you and throw stuff.
No, he wouldn't do well
I
on
do it.
those. He wouldn't
No, I do
well
it,
on
but
that
you know why?
You're a
Because
bit editor.
no, stop.
one. Brian
Your
wouldn't do
camera
well.
works trash.
I just see Brian in the corner just.
No, you know why I do it? Because it'd be on film how much Nick would push just to get people like just to get people scared. Yeah,
Is that wrong?
yeah. And you're like, there
I
you
would have
go.
been like, see
Evidence.
the guy in the glasses? Get him.
Get it.
Get him.
Which one? Dude,
know,
we're
yeah.
all wearing glasses.
Black glasses.
I
And
actually,
they're like,
Get them all! That's it. Just get them all.
Oh
I feel like I
boy.
didn't fit in. I should have brought my glasses. I have glasses also.
There you go.
I should have brought my glasses.
Make sure you bring glasses and they're black. That way he can't differentiate. Apparently he's not really good with detail.
It tastes like cotton candy.
You
yeah,
just
it's a
you-
little.
did you pay for the G Fuel?
Huh?
Did you pay for the G Fuel?
I was handed it.
Okay,
No,
then
they're
don't complain.
sponsored. They're
Oh, that's
sponsored.
right. That's
They're
right.
free.
No, I'm just saying. in
As long
general,
as you
like,
do an
it
extreme
tastes like
stunt,
cotton-
being
it
locked
tastes
in a
like cotton
room with
candy.
each other for.
Can we get
24
sponsored
hours.
by Promenade?
You can ask them.
Oh, dude.
Why
That'd
not?
be great. Yeah. Every week we bring a bakery item. They're not paying us right now. Don't flash it at the camera. No, great people.
Yeah,
Great people
100%.
out there. No, speaking about stores and stuff, Noel, Primetime Collectibles. Let's talk about that. Let's
Yeah.
talk about you. Let's get to know you. What do the people want to know about you? Who is Noel?
Well, I'll start at the beginning.
Oh, the year was.
The year one. No,
Genocide.
who I am as a person is that I felt like I was kind of like a chill dude. I used to go to like a bunch of shows and kind of have fun living life. But the week before I turned 21, that's when I got diagnosed with cancer. So that's a really big part of me, of who I am, and why sometimes I seem a little more positive than usual, because I'm not supposed to be here, but I am. So I kind of have to enjoy it. And then and it's like super dark and heavy, but nothing like
No,
not like
I love how we just.
not
Yeah.
as much like
I
guess
you go
I
dark.
don't- yeah.
Hold up.
love
So
you.
you completely went over like the second arc of your life. You're like, yeah, so I was a chill dude going to shows and stuff, and then arc 2 is cancer. Yeah, we're gonna skip over that and go straight into arc 3.
No. I can talk about it. The
Okay.
reason why I'm comfortable talking about it is because you never know who's going through it, or if as a family member is going through it. And I always tell people, like, talk to me.
Do you mind me asking what kind of cancer was
I had
it?
4 different kinds.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I had 4
Wow.
different kinds.
What kind?
There's funny names. There's a seminal, whatever the crap that I can never really pronounce, and then a teratoma and other ones.
Where were they located? The tumors, if you had tumors.
I have a massive scar. It was like all over my abdomen.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they had to take out kidney and all my lymph nodes from my abdomen. Yeah, it's like I still have a piece of it, my heart, my aorta valve. They can't do surgery on
Wow.
it. Yeah, I think for anybody who has a medical background, my tumor markers were about 54,000, 56,000. I had a resting heart rate of 188, and my blood pressure was a 290 over 240. Wow. Yeah. So
Dude.
yeah, they had somebody sitting in the
No
room. They were
way.
waiting for me to have a heart attack.
Yeah.
But
So
I
it
felt
had a
fine.
monitor,
I was
yeah.
chilling. I was like, I'm not feeling great.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, you're not. I was like,
So the one that's by your heart, is it benign or is it still?
no, it's there. Sometimes it grows. Sometimes it shrinks. They don't know why.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even know why I'm still alive, because I was supposed to make it 5 years after because it metastasized.
Dang.
I had to sign paperwork, so whatever happens after, they'll figure it out. Maybe it's something in my diet, lifestyle, I don't know, genetics.
Maybe
Who knows?
it's positivity, dude.
Yeah, to me, yeah. But, thank you.
Yeah.
To me, I'm just all like,
Yeah.
look, you guys want to figure it out. You guys figure it out. I'm just happy to be here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad the universe has invited me to stay here a little bit longer, and I'll just enjoy it while I can. And that kind of one of the things that kind of drives me in terms of like who I am as a person, where it's kind of like the Flash actually helped me out a lot when I was going through chemo. It was
Oh.
Blackest Night. He had to talk about when he
Oh,
got the
really?
blue, we got the blue ring.
Yeah.
About putting one foot in front of the other, and hope is always tomorrow. Like
That's
you just
cool.
keep pushing.
Wow.
The things you do today kind of gets you there.
Yeah.
Or if you can't do much, just put one foot in front of the other. I cried. I was in the hospital.
Hey, man.
And I was
that's
crying, and he got the blue ring, and I was like, "Oh my god,
Aw.
I can do that!" And so I did.
That's great. Oh
Yeah.
man, that's awesome.
So great.
Mhm.
It's awesome. Like but not
It's
journey
awesome.
with
You got cancer.
Yeah. Big people eating little people.
No, it's just like because in reality, it's like how often do you hear stories about people going through stuff like that, right?
Yeah, like a life.
Exactly. And
like,
then like,
changing
oh,
moments.
the influences of like their positivity or like that energy that they get to just keep going comes from like the stories they're reading out here. You hear it. right?
Yeah.
We have a person here in front of us that people are watching or listening to right now who literally went through one of the hardest things you can ever go through life. And your attitude, I couldn't even tell that you went through it, dude. You've got such a great attitude.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And you're talking about how one of the Flash arcs helped you out.
It was
That's
awesome.
incredible.
Fighting zombies. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Blackest Night.
Blackest Night is
That was,
Yeah.
that was pretty sick.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
it's
It was
pretty
like
good.
That's cool. Yeah. So how did you come about making Primetime Collectibles?
So it was me and Jody, who you
Oh,
guys
yeah.
saw
Who
earlier,
was- who met,
who
yeah.
gifted him some awesome comics, signed comics, by the way. Shout out to Jody and Gold Leaf Studios. He's a tattoo artist.
Yes.
We all had our own like collectibles. It was me, Eric Ortiz, and Gabby Lidia, but they're like married, so I don't know if she has the last name or not. Sorry, Gabby. No, so yeah, we all had our own collectible stuff, and we're like, well, we just pull it together and start selling it in a retail store. So we did. And we had a lot of help from friends and family who kind of guided us and helped us along the way. We sold a lot of that stuff. We bought some stuff for the store. That's how we opened up the one over
Yeah,
here.
when you guys were there the whole time, I was like, I gotta go in there. But you guys were open the same hours we were. And I was like, I can't.
So
get
I
in
would
there.
sneak in. I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, time to open the store.
Mhm.
And I just run back here.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
I need me and my human
Yeah.
target. Where are you?
yeah,
I love that.
Yeah.
And then I never finished it. Actually, I need to finish that one.
that's a good series.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we talked about Tom King.
Yeah, Tom King,
That was
good.
one of our early
Mhm.
conversations. Yeah, so that's kind of one of the things that kind of started. We started just selling it, and it became a little thing on its own. It kept growing. That space was only 500 square feet. It used to be the old piano music lesson
Yeah, I
place or
remember
whatever.
that,
Yeah,
yeah.
so it's been completely redone.
500 square feet is basically half the size, or is it the size of the front of Undercity?
Ooh, I think it's the size of the front of
The
Sunset.
front, yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's super small.
Yeah, when you have players in there, there's be moments where we just had so many players that we just get all the furniture with the retail product and smushed it against the wall. And we just close the shop. But like we can't have anybody here, just close it up.
Yeah.
Which then led us to the second location here on Comstock.
Yeah.
It's 2 times the size for the same price, kind of a no-brainer. So
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we were able to do that, and that used to be a jiu-jitsu place. We got rid of the dirty old carpet, very gross. Repainted everything. Our biggest thing for the store is we wanted to be a safe, inviting places. I know you've talked about this. Renee's talked about this. TCG players being toxic and terrible
So
people.
I think it was the times and then the location for me, because what you do, what I give you props is that you set the ground rules. You're like, hey, we're gonna cut the BS here. You guys gotta stay cool. You gotta keep calm and collected.
You guys are toxic. Get out.
Yeah, us, it was more of like, hey, we're doing tournaments, and it was basically anyone can come in and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And there would be, obviously there was like foul language happening, stuff like that, people taking advantage of other people when it came to trading and stuff like that, and just bringing in the wrong crowd of people as well too. So I had to deal with that on the daily.
Yeah, so our thing is it's a safe place. It's an inviting place. It's a safe place to be a dweeb. That's kind of support your local dweeb. That's kind of what we do, and we want to keep pushing that. We get people who have Asperger's, autism, or they have interpersonal skill issues and stuff like that. So we work with that to help them, not just help them, but create a space where they can come in. We have new players that never played TCG player at all that would literally like bump heads with anybody they play with, but because of the dynamic of the store and the people that are there, people that I absolutely love, I would have never met them if it wasn't for the store, that spend arguably 10 to 12 hours a day there. Kind of like, it's cool, take a breather. You're new to the game, we'll kind of work with it and then just build that positive, constructive.
The thing was, for me, when we always get new players in, it would always be you feel very alone.
Yeah.
They would come in and they would just kind of sit there and watch the tournament happening and stuff like that. 9 times out of 10, no one would ever come up to the person and be like, hey, you want to play a game? No, it's always like, hey, what do you have? What do you do this? What do you do that? What do you run? And it would be kind of very, especially with Yu-Gi-Oh players, they would be very critical on what they would run and stuff like that.
That's putting it nicely.
That's the thing.
Magic players are the same way.
Yeah, but the store kind of gravitates these kind of people.
Yeah.
So there's a community that I'm working with called Stacks Gaming, and then we try to do one Yu-Gi-Oh and one Piece tournament a month, and the whole point is for new and returning players. So we try to run a tournament every Monday for these kind of groups, and that's the rule. It's kind of like we have new players. People walk away doing synchros, doing pendulums. I walk away doing pendulums. Some people don't even understand link summoning, but they want to get back into the game.
Yeah.
which is crazy because you actually have like mats here.
The 5D ones.
Yeah, the 5D ones. That they want to get back into the game. And imagine you're like, I haven't played in like 5 years. I want to see what's going on. And then people just tapping you can't do that.
Yeah.
No, that's that. No.
Oh, they're helping them along.
No, they're helping them along and saying like, oh, you should try this deck.
And
And
not
it's
try to
really
be-
nice when they open up their binder and they're just like, here, you know what? Take the card, bro.
And not try to be condescending.
Yeah. And so the Stacks Gaming, they actually are like they are pros. They do go to regionals and they do play.
Yeah.
But they hated the toxic environment. So they actually built their own community where they started playing in parks and then started playing in people's houses. And then the whole point is to be positive, constructive.
That's
Like,
brilliant.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then from there, they had a home nearby, but that place moved to San Bernardino. And then they reached out to me and I was like, sure, let's run it. I was like, this is exactly the same vibe and the same ideology that we have at the store that works with them. So for the mini convention that we're trying to have at Whittier
Comic
College.
Fest, yeah.
No, not that one.
What?
Same day.
Oh,
Believe it or
is
not,
it?
Bitmap.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, same day. But we're gonna be at the Whittier College. So we're not gonna do a lot of comics. They're gonna do that. We're gonna be handling TCG, some arts, and this. We have a regional Smash tournament. Actually. So yeah, so we're gonna be on that side. So Uptown Whittier and the surrounding area is gonna be dweebed out.
It's gonna be really nerdy.
That's
It's
Saturday,
gonna be
man.
super
Dude,
nerdy that
yeah,
Saturday.
Saturday.
If you want to make
Yeah.
money, this is the time to
Mm-hmm.
pop up and sell deodorant because we're gonna kill it.
No, so I mentioned it on the Monday issue
Yeah.
on because we had Eric, who was the promoter of Comic Fest.
Yeah.
That's
Really cool
issue
guy.
172.5, and we were talking about how Comic Fest is happening in the community center. You guys are hosting Bitmap in Whittier College. That's 2 blocks up from there, and then 2 blocks down is Uptown Whittier. So if you guys are around the area, it's literally walking
It's
distance.
time.
So if you guys are saying, oh, but everything's so spaced out, no, dude. If you're walking around LA, if you do LA walks, if you do Laguna Beach walks, whatever it is, it's the same distance. It's smaller and it's safer because it's Whittier.
Well, also, if you do con walks in general, it's pretty much the same thing as going from East Hall to the West Hall.
Yeah.
It's the same. It's about the same distance.
Just like in sync on that.
Yeah. It's the same distance if you were to go
It
from
really
one hall
is.
to the other hall.
Yeah.
I will say I did have a weird experience yesterday when I talked to you that I haven't had in a really long time with TCG players, which is go into a shop, meet someone, and have them be super positive about it. It was Zach.
Yeah, Zach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So because I'm
100%.
100%, and that was such a weird experience for me because I'm like, I haven't had this positive experience in like forever. Because usually when you get into it, it's like, oh yeah, there's so much this and that and all this stuff. It's like, dude, hold up a second, don't give me an encyclopedia full of stuff. Granted, I kind of already know Pokemon TCG a little bit, but with what is it called right now, Paradox Rift, the new set that's coming out, I'm like, oh yeah, I've been trying to build a Miraidon deck. And he knew exactly what it was. I didn't know he went to regionals. Apparently, he's a
it
pro
was
player.
his first regionals that he went to, and he got the mat. He was stoked on life. He usually has really long hair. He cut it just for regionals. It's a big deal. Yeah, he actually works at GameStop, but he's a regular. He goes to walks and he like stops by the store and he always supposed to be on the meta for Pokemon. He's a big Pokemon fanatic.
Yeah,
Super
and
nice guy.
that was cool. And like he knew like what I was talking about. He comes up to me afterwards. He's just like, "Oh yeah, you should be getting Paradox Rift. Like, don't rush it. Just kind of let it out because they're still trying to figure out the meta. But the deck you're working on will work with this new card in Paradox Rift." And he shows me Iron Hands, and I'm like, "Oh shoot, that like actually I almost cussed, but I didn't." But I was like, "That actually like would be brilliant." And again, never had that experience since I was like in college.
Yeah.
That's very positive.
That's what I like about the store. It kind of gravitates those kind of people.
Yeah.
You know, and I always tell people when they jump into it, I'm like, look, as long as you respect each other's space and understand that we get all kinds of, it may be gender identities or autism or any kind of spectrum, it's a safe place, an inviting place. And sometimes I do have to toe the line as an owner. I have to toe the line. Jody's much better. My business partner, he's much better at that.
Of being a little stern.
Yeah. You know, because sometimes I'm just like, oh, man, I hate doing this. He's like, nah, I don't mind. Don't worry about it. Hey,
Yeah.
if you
Cut
don't
it,
like,
yeah.
do it. If you don't like it, you can leave.
No, but I've
That's
seen
how-
you have Stern.
That's how when I was first running tournaments, I was a little kind of like not shy, but like kind of like, oh, I mean, I gotta cut him some slack. But if it kept happening, the owners would tell me, no, you got to be stern with like, especially with at the time it was the Yu-Gi-Oh players that were very. If you didn't keep a close eye on them, they would kind of like take advantage of a lot of people and stuff like that, and not be honest. And stuff. So I had to kind of be a little more stern with certain Yu-Gi-Oh players that I had to be with and stuff like that.
There's definitely some cheating in Yu-Gi-Oh. It's pretty. I feel like it's easier to cheat.
Well, because it's so fast paced.
Yeah, well, and a lot of TCG is kind of like that.
Yeah.
No, but I wonder. I have a question for you.
What?
And for all three of you
What's
guys. Do you ever wonder what fuels Hollywood, like in terms of like personality, like archetypes? Like, say you're entering TCG space,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it's canonically or like just known to be a situation where it's kind of the left people that are left out, the leftovers, people that don't really fit in, but that have a space there that they can play and play with their friends, and it's a card game that they all enjoy.
Yeah.
Right.
But suddenly they start acting like jocks. But what feeds the narrative of the jock? Is it TV that teaches them, movies that tells people if you start doing well, you should start behaving this way and start acting this, or is it media,
What
Hollywood
plants that seed?
that tells you if you're gonna start doing well here, this is how you should behave.
Mhm.
Like what, or is it the people that like instinctually we as humans start behaving this way?
I think it's
that Hollywood sees it and says, "Oh, I'll represent them in media."
I think it's a mixture of both, because I had to deal with that goes into Magic players.
Mhm.
We had certain Magic players that were consider themselves like the A-list in the tournaments. Like that's the thing. Like there was like 5 or 6 like players that you knew they were gonna go all the way through into the tournament and stuff because of either what they run or how they run it and stuff like that. Then you had like the people that were like the C-list, the B-listers in the tournament, where it's like they don't have. No, it's and it happens.
They'll win every so often, but they're not gonna make it all the way to the
No,
final.
that's the thing.
Oh no, that's
The
Yu-Gi-Oh!
finals.
Never mind.
So,
Ever a
no,
Yu-Gi-Oh!
so I think it's to be honest and to answer that question, I think it's a mixture of both the human condition, but then also just how the media presents it as well too.
I feel like it's something that's learned as well, because I know from just personal experience. I know that when I was in high school, it was just a bunch of dudes, because I went to an all guys school, and everybody played Yu-Gi-Oh! Everybody played Magic. Everybody played Pokemon, and no one really judged them. Like no one, there was no even the jocks were playing with the with the band nerds, and the band nerds were playing with the debaters and everything else. So everybody was kind of playing together, and then not only that, but also we were helping each other out. So it was one of those things of, oh, I built a Blue Eyes deck. Oh, dude, this new card is coming out, let's do this. And it was very much that whole uplifting, and we're all going to try and trade and help each other out and everything else. And that's kind of how that was. And even now, later on, when we talk about nerdy stuff, we're all super hyped about it. Even board games, all of those people, all the people that I know from high school, all of them love board games. It's one of those things of, if I say, hey man, I got a brand new board game, dude, when we playing it? I need to come over and play it.
Yeah, that happens at the store. People strangers will walk in to talk to other strangers. You want to play this game with me? It's the cutest thing ever.
It's adorable.
And that's a awesome feeling, because sometimes you don't have that community right away. You have to be able to build it.
It's interesting.
And honestly, board games is a weird mix, because not everybody likes board games. Board games are kind of hard to sell.
Not a board game person.
You're not a board game person?
No. Board games are hard to sell
It's
sometimes.
small pieces. Right?
No, it's just I don't like playing with people.
He's a single player person.
Yeah.
What about you, Bryan? What are your thoughts
on the whole? Is it learned or is it community based?
Yeah.
It's interesting because for me, I don't know, because I feel like behavior is just kind of learned from the environment you're in, Because for me, I think you've mentioned this as well, where you said that your dad kind of sat you down whenever you guys watch movies that kids weren't supposed to watch, and it was this idea of oh, what you're seeing here is completely fake. This isn't real, right? So I grew up. I'll give you an example. My wife and I are on 2 different spectrums when it comes to movies. So when she grew up, she watched a lot of family adventure movies. So she's seen Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump, The Goonies, Breakfast Club, all those movies, right? I've never seen any of them until recently, because
John Hughes.
Huh?
She watched a lot of John Hughes.
Yeah, so for me, I grew up on RoboCop, Scarface. I grew up on Alien, Predator, all those action movies. But my dad would sit me down afterwards and be like, this is fake. None of this is real. So you have to understand that. But because he showed me those things, I have a massive, massive love for action movies, for sci-fi. That is my thing, right? The toughest part, and this is where what I grew up with kind of bleeds into how I am as a person. Growing up, I had a tough time figuring out how to act and who I was, because I was so different than everyone else around me. So we've talked about this whenever I've gone to primetime, how because I'm Guatemalan, I used to be made fun of a lot as a kid in elementary school. Same. I was you're a Mexican. No, I'm not Mexican. I'm Guatemalan. No, you're a Mexican. You're just adopted by it because Guatemala doesn't exist.
For you guys that don't know, Central American gang. Families didn't get out one, bro. Gang.
There you go. So
Plantains all day, baby. Plantains all day,
we
baby.
don't talk about plantains, dude. That causes war. Remember?
Oh,
Yeah.
true.
Yeah. Don't mention it.
I love to eat it.
Yeah.
So does my dog.
Yeah. There you go. Is it good for dogs?
I didn't ask. I should double check that. Usually
I
I'm
should
like,
really,
I'm like,
yeah.
I was like, what the heck?
No, I was all like, just cooking and frying them up, and I was like, "Mini aquí."
There you go.
Oh, como te
Fried
gusta a mí?
plantains.
Flight. Oh my
Flight-
gosh, dude! A
flight-
little bit of sour
flight-
cream, a little bit of
flight-
sugar on top.
Yeah. Little
Oh no,
hard,
not
like,
sour cream, crema, dude.
Clam, yeah.
Salvadoran crema is top tier.
Yeah.
100%. The little bottle with the little blue flag.
Yeah. But I had a hard time figuring out how to act into who I was. So Friends, the show Friends, actually helped me with that
Mhm.
because Matthew Perry's Chandler
R.I.P..
was the RIP.
Yeah.
He was the guy that helped me understand how to kind of move forward with certain things because he was always the down on his luck guy, the people that always made fun of him and everything. And the line that always gets me is whenever he has to introduce himself, he's like, "Oh, I'm the guy that makes jokes when things are uncomfortable." And I'm like, "Oh,
yeah.
okay, I can relate to that." And so that kind of helped me through
Mhm.
a lot of different things. And you can go into that with like as you grow into adulthood too.
Mhm.
Based on the people that you surround yourself with, that's kind of how people behave, you know? When because of Rene and Nick,
Mhm.
I get to be the nerdy person that I am.
Mhm.
In high school, my senior year, I wasn't like that because my ex suppressed a lot of that stuff. She pushed a lot of that stuff.
Deep.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, she did. I wasn't, it wasn't that she didn't allow me to do any of the stuff that I'm doing now. It was that she just didn't care for it. So there was no reason to do it.
Yeah.
And then when I started dating Andy, she was very open to it. She was into Doctor Who. She watched all the MCU movies with me. She got the stuff. I think when was it us that we went to go watch Age of Ultron together?
No, I saw it with another group of people.
Okay, so
Damn, you wrong guy him?
huh?
You just wrong guy him?
Dude,
yeah.
we've known each other. We've known each other for 10
It
years.
was
Yeah.
the other Rene.
It was the other,
Yeah,
right?
It was another chubby Mexican dude, yeah, with glasses.
But
Name
she
or
walked.
not.
in Southern California.
That was also named Rene.
yeah.
But she walked out of that movie and she's like, "Oh yeah, I noticed that little love connection between Wanda and Vision," and I never said any of that stuff to her, but she got it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Pretty blatant.
I didn't pick it up until afterwards. No, but
So many people missed that.
Ray Charles could have seen that.
you'd be surprised. Some
Yeah.
people didn't pick up on it
No,
when that movie released. No
Yeah.
one really picked up on it until
Just
afterwards.
imagine that way Vision picks up Wanda and they're just looking at each other like, nothing's gonna happen there.
I know. He's holding her and like she's like, "Oh,
She's like,
Vision,"
oh my god, Vision.
and then it's like, they're good friends.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no.
Platonic friends.
Platonic.
Vision puts Wanda down.
Right.
Oh, okay, we're just friends.
yeah.
Just hit her in the butt. Good game.
Yeah.
Like for real.
Yeah, this
Like
is, yeah.
what? Like that's what I'm like.
Yeah.
Done.
No, I guess because like to go off of what you were saying, I was the same way. I wasn't always as like openly talkative how I am now. In high school, I was very shy.
Yeah.
I was very closeted of like, especially how nerdy I was as well too. I was
Yeah.
never very open as well.
Was I the only one that was out of the closet of being nerdy?
Because you went to an all guys school that was a little more open than that. Like because for my
It was
high
very
school,
easy to come out of the closet.
I was saying the conversation
all
here
over
is
the
getting-
place.
I love this.
So
Yeah.
actually, I kind of
because
go
like
for it.
in junior high, I junior high through high school, I was always with the Hispanic cholo crowd. So I wore like.
Did you
the
wear
plain-
flannel?
No,
Did you wear
I didn't
flannel?
but
Pendleton, bro?
I wore like the plain shirts, gray shirts sometimes.
Was it the
with like the
shorts?
Dickie shorts? Yeah.
Oh,
with
the
he
Dickie
wasn't
shorts.
Rene. He was
Dude.
Ray Ray.
The
Yeah, I
purple
was like,
one.
hey, what's up, fool? Hey, what's up, fool?
Oh, that's why you can do that voice so well.
Yeah.
You know,
Back when
that's-
champion hoodies were cheap.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Reeboks.
And, so then, not until I got into high school, I started wearing like graphic tees more and more and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Dude.
The one that got more recognition was a shirt that I wore that says "Fried is a food group," and like, everyone was liking that. I was like, oh, cool. So I guess this is a thing. I'll wear a graphic shirt. Yeah.
Now I get the Converse and high socks. I
Yeah.
get it now.
So, but yeah, that's the thing. So I wasn't always like this. So until I think it was after my last relationship, I became more and more. It was a hard breakup for me. Like that,
Yeah.
it's always funny how like a breakup can really like make you open up as a person as well too. It make you kind of really think like, wow, yeah,
It defines you.
'Cause-
Yeah.
After you
Yeah.
kind of look back at you all like, I wouldn't be who I am. It wasn't for you.
Yeah.
That's the good stuff.
yeah.
The bad stuff.
No, I,
The shadow comes over half your
face. Because that's the thing
I'm
though.
not the
Is
same person I was.
I remember. I remember being in school and like we would have these little debates or like these silly questions of like, oh man, if Batman got an Iron Man suit, you think he'd wreck the Justice League? And and just be like, yeah, dude, like of course. And we would have these really dumb debates, and then it would get heated, like just 15 dudes yelling on either side of the lunch table is just going like, no man, you're dumb, get out, go, leave. No, I don't want to talk.
I feel like if Nick's life was an anime, this is a continuing anime. You're like the One Piece anime where like you have multiple arcs, but it's just like continuation. You're on episode like 2000 something, and Rene and I have like 3 different anime like arcs, yeah,
with different intros,
with different.
Well, yeah, because like
dude, my life's been a slice of life.
To go off of like the nerdy talk, I remember a freshman, like as a freshman, I the Iron Man movie came out, and when I started my freshman year in high school, everyone's like, "Oh yeah, Iron Man was good." And so, who was that? Nick Fury. Who was that guy? And I'm like, "Oh yeah, that was Nick Fury. He's the one that started the Avengers. He's also the headquarters. He's also the guy that's in charge of Shield." They're like, "Okay, whatever, Rene," and stuff like that. And it just
then it became cool.
Yeah,
So,
then it became cool.
Actually, funny thing about this, because Andy and I were having a conversation about this
Do you guys
yesterday.
need a hug later? Like,
what?
do you guys need like a hug?
No. This is interesting. Okay, so
You want a hug?
No, do you guys need a hug?
you don't.
Like,
He doesn't need a hug. Look at his life, dude. He went to an all boys school. They were debating about Iron Man and Batman.
It was great.
Life was great
It
for
was
him.
so great.
Renee and I we're Dead Parents Club, dude.
We were arguing about like that, and then like we were hitting each other in the nuts afterwards. It was great. It would be
That's
like,
how it's supposed to go.
yeah,
That's how it's supposed to go.
Yeah.
When you
I can imagine just like you going up to your friend, that a parent that just died, like, yo, so how's your mom? You know, just slapping the nuts. Like,
dude.
actually that did happen.
So
Triggering.
That did happen.
Everybody's being triggered. Everybody relax. We're just nobody's hitting anybody in the nuts.
No,
Relax.
but I think my mom's prepping me for my death, dude.
What the?
Oh, you ready? Ready
What
for
a
this?
pivot,
dude.
Yo,
45 minutes in, and we're already
hit,
talking about
hit
death
the Frasier
now.
intro, baby. Let's.
So my mom's prepping me for my death.
Why?
So here's the thing. So my nephew.
Does she plan that you're gonna die before her?
Oh no. So my nephew. He, my mom started gifting him a bunch of Spider-Man stuff. Like apparently his favorite superhero is Spider-Man now, right? But the thing is this.
Oh God, your Uncle Ben. Oh God, that's it.
Yeah.
So
You
that was
gotta
it.
explain it.
No, that's
Oh
it.
my God.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Mhm.
So
No, dude,
and I
he's-
told I sat my sister down because he's also half black. So I was telling my sister, I'm like, you do realize that like
You either Uncle Ben or Uncle Aaron.
there you go.
I was I was just waiting for him to get there.
Yeah, that was it. And then my sister's like, yeah, and I'm like, pfft. And I told my mom the same thing. She's like, well, that sucks. And I'm like, well, thanks, mom.
Wow.
And I'm like, all right, sure. So I'm getting Uncle Bender or Uncle Aaron.
Ben
dude.
or Uncle Aaron.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, my brother's calling me.
Oh
Is it-
no! Did we lose a
Low pos-
feed?
No, dude.
Okay, cool.
Are we sure?
Yeah, it's
Is it choppy?
We'll have to
Because
find
this
out
is the
later.
Noel cam, dude.
No, it's fine.
All right,
Okay,
so-
if there's no Noel cam,
Do you want to pause it? And
No, it's fine.
Okay,
It-
all right,
it-
all right.
it's
We trust Nick.
It's
We
fine.
trust Nick.
Yeah,
And Nick,
it's
we
good.
trust.
All right.
It was good.
So I got something. You guys got me thinking. So,
Oh god.
all the stuff that you guys are talking about, these experiences,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
like where they happen, right?
Yeah.
So, I was on.
Put it on Do Not Disturb on your watch.
Is he really?
We're
He
looking
called
at the
me- he called me
future. Put it
3
on. Do
times
not
in a row.
disturb on your
He called me
watch.
3
Future.
times in a row.
Right.
I told him this prior before we're shooting. I was like, put it on Do Not Disturb.
He called me again,
No,
dude.
but no, it's
What is so important?
Do you need to step out?
Maybe it's a conversation we're having. Maybe something
I was
bad
gonna say,
happened.
should we?
Should
No,
we
no, go,
take
go.
a moment?
You want to pause?
Yo,
No, go.
Just check it out on your
No,
family.
no, it's 40.
Make sure
we,
they're
have,
okay.
we have 30 minutes. We're
You
fine.
Yeah,
know?
that's fine. We can.
What if you have an Uncle Ben? You know what I mean? What if you have an Uncle Ben?
Dude, he gets his dark arc, dude. Oh yes,
This is when the
dude.
slice of life ends.
Yeah.
Dude, what did we just tell him right now? Is there an important line that he has to like live by now? Was there anything important we just said to Nick right now?
You gotta run back. You gotta run.
Someone think of an inspirational quote to give him real quick. Something memorable.
Something. You're putting him on the. You're putting us all on the spot.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's
dude, I
called
got
big,
one, I got
it's
one.
Big Man Eating Little Ben. There it is.
There isn't anything you can do that hasn't been done already, so don't even try.
That is.
Because then you can do anything.
Jesus, let me slip my wrist now.
You know? No, you can do whatever you want.
Nothing I do matters.
No, it don't matter to you because everybody's done it before. Who cares? Do whatever you want.
Is he still calling you?
I'm sure, but I put it on Do Not Disturb.
Okay.
He called again before.
If
I
you
went
need
on.
us to pause, we'll pause. In all seriousness, okay?
I mean, he didn't send a text, which is weird. I don't know why he called me 5 times because it's weird. My brother.
This is happening.
No,
This
okay.
is happening. This
My
is
brother.
happening in
No,
real life.
because here's my thing
This
though.
is happening in real
My
life.
brother doesn't text. He calls, and then when you ignore his phone call, he just continuously keeps on spamming you. And then when you pick up the phone, he then goes, "Hey, I wanted to know if you wanted to go to the movies tonight." And then you're like, "Dude, you called me like 9 times in a row." And he's like, "Cause I'm buying the tickets right now, dude. Like, pick up the phone."
Oh my gosh.
That's how my brother is.
Well, while Nick has his whole, crisis and dark arc developing, what we're gonna ask.
So,
Yeah.
all these things happen at places, right? I still have access to the JSTOR, thanks to a buddy of mine, JC. And I was reading a journal, a little study about the third space. Have you guys ever heard of a third space?
No.
What is the third space?
It's like the fourth dimension.
No. So if you look at sitcoms, you say use Friends, for example. There's usually 3 places that you see them. You see them at work, you see them at home, but what's the third space in Friends?
The coffee shop, Monica's. It's the coffee
It's a
shop,
coffee
Monica's
shop.
apartment, and Joey and
No,
Chandler's.
all those are their homes. But the third, you have work, home, and the third space.
Oh.
So somebody did a study regarding bridge clubs. The previous generation used to go have places that have bridge. Some places would just be places that you have cigars, smoke, and play bridge, play poker, whatever. This is the third space. This is a space outside of those 2 main locations that you visit. The current, our generation, their third space are TCG spots, collectible stores where you can sit down, hang out, decompress. You get out of work. It's the coffee shop that we have now. A lot of coffee shops we have now, they're kind of, you pop in, you get what you need to do, and you leave, and you call it a day.
Nobody really hangs out. No.
Nobody really hangs out on them. There's a couple that I know that I can hang out with them and kind of have fun, but then it gets really packed and I feel like I can't really be there more than 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So they did a study about their spaces and the collectible stores, and then how TCG and like LGS's local game stores do that. Board games have a space you can rent out and do stuff. It is the third space. So I feel like you're hitting it kind of on the nail. It doesn't matter who you are, where you come from. We all need that third space. You can be a jock. You can be the nerdy kid. You can be the shutout. You can be the chess team. Anybody can play these games and be into it. But they need that third space. And I feel sometimes a lot of locations within my community as like an owner don't really provide that third space where they allow toxic players to kind of poison the well when it comes to these third spaces where you can get anybody who kind of comes in, and it kind of answers the question like, does Hollywood influence us or do we influence Hollywood? I feel like that's too binary. It is a spectrum in the third space. We kind of all fit in there.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where you come from. You can hang out at the store and have a blast. You've had conversations with every people and no issues. No issues at all.
Well,
Even though
look
you don't
at-
like playing
look-
with people,
look at-
you can
look
totally
at-
hang
I
out
still
there.
talk to people.
Look at like Joe Manganiello, where he opened up a space for people who wanted to play Dungeons and Dragons, and it was a lot. And it went from him and like 4 of his like actor friends to a 15-person like game where it has like the writers from Game of Thrones, it has Vince Vaughn, Big Show, it has like all these major celebrities, and it's a weekly thing. They all weekly are there or they're on Skype or was it on Zoom. They're all there ready to play and everything else, but it's one of those things of Joe was into it. He wanted to play D&D. He wanted to get back into it because he's always loved D&D since he was a kid, and he started inviting his friends and his friends wanted to play. And that's what it turns into. That became their space.
Yeah, it's the third space.
But
So anybody like who's listening, think about what that third space is to you and how you can nurture it, even if it's a place you go to, if it's your LGS, your collectible, the coffee shop, your friend's house, you're gonna play D&D with the homies. That's your third space. Like, how do you nurture it? How is it being nurtured? And like, how do we stop people from having like experiences that you've had where people are just being total, completely bad? Imagine you get out of work, you're gonna go play, you haven't played Yugen in a while, you come in, this guy is just tapping, touching, flipping your cards, or doing my favorite thing when it comes to TCG players, yep, okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that a common thing?
It is a common thing because usually when you do something competitively,
Yeah.
is there a response?
Yeah.
You know, but people don't say no response.
Now is that okay? Now my question is, when now you say something like that, is that like, is it acknowledgement of a
What
move
they're doing?
like a move that's either they know they can't stop, or is an acknowledgement of a mistake and they're not saying out loud?
It's the first one. So
The first, okay.
it's the I have nothing to stop it. But
It's a passive aggressive response.
Yeah.
then. Okay.
but there's also another quip that I didn't bring up.
Mhm.
It's not just a yeah,
Mhm.
It's a I'll allow it.
Oh, yeah.
That's the part that always I'll be playing with something.
Yeah.
I'll allow it.
I'm not.
I
I'm
mean,
not-
You used to do that.
Yeah, I'm
You-
glad. I'm
are
glad
you-
I can have your
I do
permission
that.
to do
Yeah.
that.
I used to,
Yeah.
I used to
You
do
know?
that. I used
He
to
used to do-
Really?
yeah, he used to do it
you-
with me.
You used to do it? Yeah, like I'll allow it. No, that's fine. That's good. Go
when
for
when
it.
we
No, you're
were
good.
had a
'Cause I had a-
small club in Pioneer when we used to work together,
I
we would do Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments
I
and
would
stuff.
love it.
And so yeah, so Nick, whenever, because I was really into trying to build a red eyes deck, and so like Nick would help me out, and the occasional student would be like, oh yeah, this card would work.
I try
But
to
then-
pull it apart or try to like add cards
Yeah.
from what I had.
But the thing was, whenever we would competitively play, because we would do tournaments, like small little tournaments
But-
that
but-
the school would allow.
But the thing was that because we were both in charge, everybody would surround the table.
Mhm.
Like all the kids would be like just watching, just going like, dude, this is gonna be sick, because they would play us and they would always lose.
Mhm.
So now it's like, oh, the two people that we always lose against, they're going up against each other. So how is this gonna play out? So it was always very hyped.
Yeah.
It was always very hyped, and it was great.
And so it got to the point where Nick and I got annoyed of it, because he would just be like, yeah, no, because I was always
You
trying to
never
figure
won.
stuff- Yeah, I mean, I never did, but it was like, it was fine. Like I would be fine with that, but then it would, like I would do something else, and he'd be like, yeah, and then the snarky,
Allow it.
allow it,
Yeah.
and I'm like, okay, dude.
Because in my head I'm thinking he's doing exactly what I thought he was gonna do. So in my head I was kind of like, okay, cool, and I have cards to stop whatever is coming next, but I'm waiting for him to get down the line
Oh my
to
god.
then summon something
And then the
big.
occasional of like when he knew something was coming without even saying it. No,
Wouldn't even explain it, right? He'd just
No.
be like, no.
no.
No, I'd be like, all right, well, I wouldn't say no. I would just be like, I don't think so.
So do you
and then I
remember?
would flip it.
I don't know if you're familiar with the card.
Do you do this?
No.
No.
Do this? They're all like, no. They're like, bing. Like, okay, but what happened?
No, Nick was good at
Yeah,
never
what
touching.
happened?
Nick was good at never touching other people's cards.
No, I would
But-
only the only reason I would touch people's cards if we were trying to figure out which effects affected.
Yeah.
Where like it was like I flipped this, you flipped that, I flipped this, you flipped
No,
that.
I mean the pointing of your own cards at somebody
no,
else.
that's
They
rude as hell.
Yeah, they'd be all like, I'll take that one out. Just like bing, and then just.
No, I usually just go like, oh, I'll take the left one
Oh
out.
yeah,
I'll take that
like,
one
here,
out.
yeah. I'll
That
take
one.
that. I'll take that. Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But
Which I
but-
just find funny. But it's just one of those things I noticed. It kind of like after a while, I'm just like, stop.
I think it's a gratification from
Yeah.
like watching the show, because like you can't have the
Yeah.
actual monsters come to life, and it's like attack his blue eyes.
yeah, but I mean like
Gah!
You just take out the card.
well, because not only that, but also for a while there, I had like a really solid troll deck where it was just all it was meant to do is just defend. That's all it was meant to do, and it was meant to just rip you apart. It was meant to drive you nuts and just go like, oh my god! Like,
Do you
'cause-
remember there's a trap card that it's the image of it is 3 jars on top of each other, and the effect was if you can only activate the trap card when your opponent I don't know if it was you activated a spell card and it would lock down two
yeah,
cards on their side.
This is a Yu-Gi-Oh card.
It was
Yeah.
a Yu-Gi-Oh card. So essentially, like this would be my trap card here, right? He puts
would
2
lock
cards
him.
face down. I would then activate the trap card,
And I would
and
lock
it would
it.
lock those 2. That was my card. That was my card. The way Nick went around it, and it really annoyed me, was he would discard the 2 cards that were face down, but because they weren't destroyed, or this card was, or these were basically discarded, destroyed, or whatever, or exiled,
it would
this card would still be in play because it never got destroyed. So I
because
could never get rid of it.
On the card, the wording on the card says that that in order to specifically destroy these cards, that has to do it. But you can then fold them with other card effects to get them off because they're not being destroyed, they're being tributed.
Yeah, you would link away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then his card would be stuck there because it wasn't able to fizzle. So it would be like, oh well, your spot is now.
Yeah, just take it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, but also I would then go ahead and go, okay, cool. He would summon all these monsters and he'd be like, all right, cool, I got a full board. And I'd be like, okay,
If
cool.
you're interested in getting back at the card games, I would recommend One Piece is really good right now, and it's Digimon is phenomenal, and it's super cheap.
You've
to
explained
get into.
Digimon to me, and I'm like, I want
Digimon-
to, but I can't afford
The-
it.
Yeah, they sent the distributor sent me some free starter decks. You want some?
Yeah,
Yes.
I do.
Ooh,
Devimon. It's for the release of the new movie.
Oh,
So
yeah,
it's a
yeah.
Devimon.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
sweet.
cool.
Yeah, I want to do that one. I also want to do the Dragon Ball Z one, like because
That's a really niche community.
I know it is,
Yeah.
but it.
Have you seen?
For what?
I saw it and I really love the arts. Like
Have
the
you-
arts on those
Oh,
cards
yeah,
are
super, super dope.
they're
Have you
super
seen
dope.
gameplay for the Digimon
Card game?
card game?
No.
It's interesting.
Is it?
It's very the way you explained it. It was like it relies a lot on how much of a jerk you want to be. Then if you are, you get punished for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so like in Magic, there's a mana pool that your resources that
Yeah.
you have to build.
Yeah.
In Digimon, it's a shared resource. So it's a
Oh.
memory that goes 10 one way and 10 the other way. So the
Mhm.
second you use your memory and you cross that line to your
Mhm.
opponent, your turn's over. That's it.
Hmm.
But say for example, I want to do all these things.
Yeah.
So I use so much memory, I give you 5 or 6,
Mhm.
right? That's your memory to use. So
Yeah.
the more I do, the more resources I create for you.
Mhm.
And the more you do, like the more of a jerk you want to be,
Mhm.
it's gonna give me more resources. It's a shared thing. So
It
like you
Kind of
try
sounds
to
like it kind of sounds like Vanguard a little bit, like a little like stitches of
Yeah, but
Vanguard.
better.
Yeah, way
Yeah.
better. That does
Because it's
sound
not
better.
Vanguard.
and you have 5 lives. It's not so like if there's like you have
Vanguard,
cards that if you attack them, it's just your
No, I
your
just remembered
security
something.
checks. Like it's like your firewall. So when you attack them, you either fight the Digimon or you have to reap the effects of that. So sometimes it doesn't work in your favor. But say I want to have a Digimon, I'm Digivolved to this one. Oh, I only had 2 memory left. It cost me 3. Well, my turn's over. Can't even attack.
So my question, moving forward from the tournament aspect of your business and then going towards the inventory,
Yeah.
keeping up with what's going on, I have like a kind of like a 2-part question. The one was the first one is that Disney card game that came out.
Oh yeah, Lorcana.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the biggest thing
was
came out. That
crazy.
yeah, because I had so many people call me
Yeah.
and be like, "Do you guys carry Lorcana?" And so I'm like, "I know, I don't."
Is it a
Yeah.
one and
Is it-
done, or are they still going?
Yeah, so it's gonna be another release pretty soon.
Yeah.
In a week, we're gonna have some. There's also another release of the first set.
Ryan.
But we were talking about it
Yeah.
before it came out, and you were telling me a story of like how hard it was to come by.
We only got less than 1% of our pre-orders,
Mhm.
and we got no booster boxes.
Mhm.
And that's more than most. Some places, I got calls from other stores
Mhm.
wanting the stuff I received because they had so many pre-orders, and they got
Nothing.
nothing or virtually nothing, even
Yeah.
less than we did.
Yeah.
And they didn't cancel their pre-orders in time. That's why so many people had their pre-orders canceled along their way there,
Mhm.
because once they got their allocation,
Mhm.
it was gone. And the way it was explained to me was, if you became a Lorcana store, you get 60 to 80% of your allocation,
Mhm.
or 90%.
Wait, who's the distributor?
There's multiple distributors, but there's some very few.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but the distributors don't get to decide allocation. Ravensburger does. So they had set
Yeah.
it up that if you're a Lorcana store, you either get 24, 48, or 72 booster boxes,
Mhm.
and that's it.
Yeah.
It's a 3-set
Why?
bundle. Not too sure. And since I'm not
I
a
feel-
Lorcana store,
I
I got 0 booster
I feel like the
boxes.
company didn't realize
How big?
how big it was gonna
It's
be
Disney.
and stuff like that. That's the thing.
I feel
Disney-
like that personally, my opinion, and don't you
Go
guys
for it.
hate me on this.
Yeah,
You can quote
go.
me on this, but don't hate me on this.
Yeah.
Fumble the bag, bro. It's
Yeah.
Disney. I know you want to. If you want to, have
Which- that's-
create that supply and demand kind
It's
of situation.
interesting that Disney felt the need to. We can touch onto this medium of cards.
They didn't
believe in themselves.
No. It wasn't Disney. It was Ravensburger because they're the publisher. They publish board games.
Okay.
They were the ones that chose the
Mhm.
allocations.
Mhm.
So a lot of people canceled their events. They canceled their pre-orders,
Yeah.
and then anything they had to skyrocket the profits because something's so big you can't just let it go. And we try to find that middle ground where some things we sold for retail, some things like the Trove we're going for like $150 to $200, and I
Yeah.
was like, you know what, $100 all day, just get move. I didn't get that many anyways.
Mhm.
The biggest thing that people were telling me is like if people buy from me from cheaper and they want to sell it for the upsell and then make like
That was gonna be my next question. Was how do you deal with people that want to flip it? Because you get your inventory, so you have to set aside. I gotta make my profit off of this and
Yeah.
stuff as well too.
Yeah.
But then you have people that come in and be like, I want like 3 boxes or 4 boxes and stuff like that.
Well,
So-
it's interesting because the people that want to come in and buy 3 or 4 boxes or cases, right?
Cases.
They want to
yeah.
buy cases.
Yeah.
a lot of those guys have a job to fund those things, so they don't come until later. More often than not, I'm selling out by that time. So if they want to buy boxes, it's kind of like already too late. And then also, I always tell people if they're busy, message us. Let us know on Instagram. Hey, I'm getting out of work at 6. You mind sending a box or 2 for me? That's fine. But because we thank you. Hey, I do it to him all the time.
I was gonna say, yeah.
100%.
I'm assuming
I
he
got
does.
Bryan's
He
back
messages,
100%.
Because Scarlet and Violet release was when I got back into TCG. So you helped me get my both Scarlet and Violet ETB. You basically messaged me the moment the 151 collection dropped. So I got the ETB there and the collector's one. And no, you're great. I think the thing, if you don't mind me, if we can kind of talk about it,
Sure.
we talked a little bit while I was at the store. My gosh, why can't I not talk? Coffee's like done with me right now.
Oh, yeah, hey, yo, you want a
No, I'm good.
refill, bro?
No,
Yo,
I'm good.
it's sponsored Jingle Tetris Blast
God, no,
energy
dude.
drink, 16 ounces.
What's my heart rate at
1
right now?
pint.
My heart rate's at dude, look.
You're dying.
Bro,
I'm
you're
dead.
stressed out. No, but look, this is 0 calories. It's gonna help you out, bro.
Yeah, but it's caffeine.
What, it has potassium though. Look, it has 200 milligrams potassium.
You ain't gonna cramp up,
this
man.
is pretty good.
You're
it has
good,
vitamin
yeah.
C, bro. 40, yeah, it's pretty good. 50% of the daily intake of vitamin C. Yo, can I crack this?
Go for it.
Dude, it's
Yeah.
probably better than V8.
No, so one thing I wanted to touch on was you were talking about how other stores essentially get their cases of cards, right? And there's always that money card that people will dig into and then pull it from the set and then sell it as an individual card.
Oh, mapping.
Yes, exactly.
So one of the things that I've learned when I first started the store were people reaching out to me saying, "Oh, if you want to build your single, start mapping."
Oh,
And I'm
yeah.
like, "What the freak is mapping?" They're like, "Oh, if people open up enough boxes, they can find out what the probability is of the money card being inside a case or inside a box."
We had to do that at the old location. Every new set for Magic, we had to
He said it.
unlock.
For you guys calling me liars, that's not a thing.
That's a thing. Yeah,
Flipping you guys off
we had
metaphorically.
so we had to open at least 2 or 3 cases,
To
and
get
we
a-
would hire people that day. Be like, we're just gonna
Crack open.
crack open a box, crack open the packs, separate commons and uncommons and rares and ultra rares and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This is for Magic the
Yeah.
Gathering. We did that for the Ravnica block, and a little bit after the Ravnica block as well too.
Yeah.
I remember because every new set we had to do it.
Yeah, you would have to do it, and then
Yeah.
once you know where the cards are set up, you
Yeah.
can start mapping. So people start sharing that information with other vendors, other like people.
They do it at Frank's all the time.
Some places, yeah.
When you go to Frank's,
Are we
you
gonna
just
get
see dudes
shot
in the
for
back.
outing
Yeah.
stores now? Are we
Dude,
gonna
No,
get-
in the-
you can't name names. I won't name names.
Okay, good.
You know, 'cause
We,
we're all trying.
I can say we did it because we used to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we don't do it anymore.
Yeah, and at prime time we don't do that because we want people to, pull the cards that they want, and
Yeah.
also they'll tag the store, and that's better for us anyways. Like, why would we want to do that?
Yeah, the thing you do really well is whenever someone gets a really cool pull, you share it on the socials.
100%. Because I'm
And
hyped.
it's so interesting,
I'm so
yeah.
hyped.
But the thing is, though, is that when we used to do cards, that was the most. It was weird because that was the most demand thing. People, rather than opening up a pack, it was opposite for us.
Yeah.
People wanted to just drop the money to get that ultra rare
Yeah.
or to get that
Yeah.
whatever planeswalker and stuff
Mhm,
like that as
mhm.
well too. People didn't want to go through the trouble of opening up a
Well,
pack. But
'cause-
for you, it's opposite. You said though, right?
Well,
People
'cause-
want to go through the trouble.
But that also goes into how much money am I really willing to spend? Because
Oh,
if
yeah.
you really think about it, I'm gonna spend what was it, $4 a pack? It's like
$3 to $4.
Back
$3 to
then-
$4 a pack.
Back then, it was like $2.50, $3.
I know, but still, I'm gonna spend $3 on
Yeah.
a pack. Let's just say that card happens to be $20.
Yeah.
I might have to buy a box, which is $80 to $60, to get a $20 card.
Mhm.
That makes absolutely no sense. Why not just spend the $20?
Well, here's the thing, right? Somebody had to pull the card.
Right.
Yeah.
Somebody had to pay it. You can just be the secondary person, be all like, I want that card because Rene just dropped $120
Yeah.
on a Pokemon booster box. He got the money card.
Mhm.
He sells it to me, and he's like, "Oh, this is a $60 card." And I was
Yeah.
like, I'll give you like $45, $50 for
Yeah.
it. Dope,
Right.
cool. You come in, it's like, oh, I'd rather pay $50 for that card
Yeah.
than opposed to paying $100 and hopefully I pull it. Cool. He's happy. You're happy.
Exactly.
The system kind of feeds itself in that way, but
Mhm.
also, why do you want the card? Are you gonna Magic players? The card value comes from its use in the game.
Absolutely.
There's a collectible portion to it for sure. Pokemon, it's split into two. Some cards are good inside the game. Some cards are good for collectors. People-
Art. The
yeah,
art.
the art. People complain right now recently about Paradox Rift being like, oh, the hits aren't that great, the money's not there. because it's not made for the collectors. It's designed for the players. People will open up boxes, like whole boxes. Or I think like Zach went through a couple boxes of, so he probably opened up 72 packs. And started building decks out of it because he plays it. So this set is more for people like him than it is for people who want to buy just the one card for display. If you want to get the card because you want to be better at the game, you can.
Right.
You can. But then you also kind of limit yourself from building other decks that might be good. It's like the Yu-Gi-Oh players will open up all these boxes, start setting up the archetypes, and start making cores
True.
in case they want to start building them later.
No, yeah, absolutely. Because I've done that before, where I bought a box, and then I start like and then me and my buddy will like start popping open boxes, and then go, "Oh, the twins! These twins look sick!" And you start reading their descriptions.
They really do.
The arts is like super like chibi like anime girls, and you're like, "This looks like a sick build.
Yeah.
Like I kind of want to build it." And then you start looking into, okay, so what cards do I need? What archetypes from other boxes do I need to pull into it? And you're right, that does do that. But in the event of I've already got a build in mind, and then I'm trying to just finish the build, then that's when it starts going into, I'm just gonna spend the money. I'm gonna spend the money, get the card, so that I can fill.
Well, what's the most expensive deck you've ever seen? Because I have seen
for Yu-Gi-Oh,
really expensive decks.
I think my hero deck was like $350.
100? That's 350. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, it was a solid
I've
deck.
seen a
The
$3,000
hero
deck
from GX.
My hero deck, no, it wasn't from GX. Mine was a evil hero with Destiny hero mix.
That was, what arc was that?
Well, it was like probably like 2 years ago. That's when they started really coming out with like a lot of like hero support.
Oh,
Like 2 years ago when they started really coming out with like hero support, because they had like the heroes and they had the live heroes, and then they also had the links.
Yeah.
Like heroes just started getting a really like massive.
Because Heroes was originally GX, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
But-
interesting. They brought it back.
But they brought it back because it's such an iconic. It's kind of like the Dark Magicians.
They were Power Rangers, basically, in a way, right?
Yeah,
Art
I mean
design?
that's essentially what it is. But I mean the whole point is that, well, they also like mock up like superheroes, and they also do different stuff. So I mean it's a cool archetype, and also it's all about fusing. It's all about fusing. So you can just go through like
their fusion is a meta now.
yeah, like that's the whole point, is that you're supposed to be fusing as you're going, and
Fusing
then
or fusion?
fusion. both
Okay,
the same
well,
thing.
no, because sometimes it's different. Like a different word could mean
No.
a completely different mechanic.
Well, no, because like because you can fuse, or the whole point of heroes is that when you bring out one, they should be either bringing out a magic card or another monster. Like that's the whole idea of a fusion of a hero deck, because you're just boom, that brings out him, that brings out this third guy. I'm gonna sweep, so that way I can then pull out this link.
Wait.
This link then brings out
What's it
a
called?
magic.
Synchros?
Synchros go more into like fiends and stuff like that, like the and all the others, like very much 5Ds. What's the mat that we're on?
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
that
But
goes
to-
more into them.
But to your point, is like $350. That's a lot of money for a deck.
Yeah, it is,
But I've seen $3,000 decks.
and yeah,
And it's 40 card decks.
yeah.
So like people will spend buku money, or sometimes they'll just keep like it's kind of like the comics. You have the backlog of all the comics, the older issues, which I love going through, and because it helps me fill out the collection. Sometimes I do miss a couple issues. So when you have that and you try to build that deck, well, guess what? Now you got the support for the Neos. You don't have to look for the old cards. You already have it in the back because you spent it building other decks. So it's one of those things, like it depends on the lane that you're in and how much you're trying to.
Because I've seen a buddy of mine. He actually was just like, I'm gonna hollow the whole deck out. And I was like, why are you gonna hollow? You have the cards. Why would you hollow it out? And he's like,
just the design.
Yeah,
So it
because you
looks
want
pretty.
Starlight, baby.
yeah,
Starlight.
that's all I want. That's all I want to do is just
All
I want
day.
to hollow the deck out. Every card I want to just look pretty.
I want
Or
that.
alternate arts.
The textured hollow, you can't even read the card. I'm just gonna put this there. I'm
Dude,
gonna tell
those
you what
things
it
are
is.
so hard to read.
It is what it is.
It's kind of what I'm doing
But
with
the
Pokemon
ghosts,
right now.
those ghosts are sick. I do love the Ghost
Because
Rays.
I'm building a Maridon deck, and so one of the cards is you need a Mareep. And I got really fortunate to pull out a full art, secret art of a Mareep. So that one's in there, but I'm trying to like hold off on it. So when I actually do get to play with it, like it's still in pristine condition. But no, yeah, you do want to show off the decks and the cards that you're building because they're pretty dope.
Yeah.
Speaking about like pulling the right cards or like the cool cards for collecting, that's the thing I don't like about TCG is when people collect cards because they look cool. When people actually like really like the card, like for me, we've talked about this before.
Charizard.
Charizard,
He wants the Charizard so bad.
I do.
He wants it.
But But the other thing though, going into like, I want this specific card because the card is nice. Sometimes retail bumps it up, like because it's in such high demand.
But what do you do, Noel?
All right. Well, I try to keep things fair, and I'm gonna explain to you why some retailers raise it up. Yu-Gi-Oh boxes usually go for like $60, $70 a box. What if I told you the MSRP is supposed to be, by Konami, the MSRP is supposed to be $115 or $120?
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at business, what do you think the cost is on a product that's supposed to MSRP at $115 or $120?
The actual, like, how much you guys are buying it for?
Yeah.
Like $15-$20.
So if we buy it for $15-$20, we're going to sell it for MSRP for $115 $120? No. The cost would probably be like 30% less than that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times when you get the product, the value of the product, you can't sell it for MSRP. So and sometimes the value is really high, like Lorcana, for example, or for Magic, for example, or like, depending, like Magic doesn't have an MSRP, is a bad example, but like Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, we try to keep that middle ground where we try to sell it for MSRP or TCG player, whatever's cheaper, at least for the first 2 weeks, because then we start dipping into the secondary market, getting it from other vendors to do it that way. Mm-hmm. So we do this because it's easier this way, because if somebody wants to come in and buy the product and flip it, well, guess what? Everybody's buying it that weekend.
Yeah.
So if you're going to buy it from me for, you see now it makes sense?
No, because you talked about, what was the Pokemon set that came out? The Charizard one? It wasn't Brilliant Stars. It was the one before that one. You talked about it with me, that people were buying it for like $200, and then GameStop started selling it for like 90, $100 bucks.
The Charizard Ultra Premium Collection.
That's it.
So they printed the living daylights out of that. The value was going for like $280, $300 the weekend that it came out. I was selling it for like $200, then I dropped it down to $148, and I sold out in that weekend, right? Because I was just underselling everybody else. Mm-hmm. And that was those things where that box was worth more than MSRP, but I was trying to keep it as close to MSRP as possible. And then within a week, it dropped down to $80 in value. Walmart has it for $80, and they keep making it to this day. So it's one of those things where you have to find that middle ground, and we try to do that also. So if I buy Yu-Gi-Oh, and TCG player says it's worth $65, I probably got it for that price, depending on how much I bought, right? Because it goes lower the more you buy.
Absolutely.
But if I sold it for MSRP at $120, impossible. Who would spend $120 on a booster box?
Dude, you'd be surprised.
What about ETBs, Pokemon ETBs? Let's say it's Obsidian Flames, goes for $35 to $40, right? The MSRP is supposed to be $65. Well, who would buy the ETB for $65?
I'd buy it for $65.
Yeah, so when some retailers will bump it up, a lot of times it's below MSRP. And they're doing that because they need to make something a little bit more than the cost that they got it for. So we try to find that middle ground because we want people to afford the things that they like, but also be able to pay the bills. And there's getting ahead and getting by, but if you build a community that supports you and loves you and tries to take care of you, they go above and beyond.
It makes it so that the market doesn't self-inflate, and it could be accessible to a wide variety of people.
But that's the thing, though, is that because the way that cards are valued at the time, it just really depends. Like, I remember I was trying to build a Blue Eyes deck at a certain point, and I got Alternative Dragon. And while I was doing Alternative Dragons, the actual card was somewhere near $30-$40, something like that. And it was like, dang, each one of them is $40.
Yeah.
I bought them, and then like 3 months later, when the brand new one came out, they came out with a what was it? It was a non-hollow, just a standard card, and the new one, and then it just plummeted that price all the way down to like $2-3.
It's because you're paying for the moment that you want it, not for the. So there's a thing. Sorry,
no, you're ready.
So it's called the sunset model for a lot of people that they do. They buy this product. They like a lot of businesses like mine will buy all this product and keep it in storage in hopes it's going to gain value over time.
Right.
But the game continues playing. The cost keeps going up because the MSRP keeps going up, and they keep reprinting stuff. Rarity collection for Yu-Gi-Oh is phenomenal. They printed almost all the staples in different rarities. It's out of control. You can get them in secrets, ultras, starlights, and you can get like a bunch of like these staple cards in different rarities.
However you want to do it. Yeah.
However you want to do it. It's phenomenal. It's great. But all the values of all the previous cards tanked, because now instead of like, oh, you have this one card that you paid $40 for. Awesome. Well, in this box, you can get it in 3 different flavors. You're good to go.
Yeah.
There's a card in Magic that I had no idea what the worth was for until Sean, who we had last week, told me about it. Cyclone Riff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Love that card.
Cyclone Riff is basically, what does it do again? It's like a low cost card to put out, but it's it returns a card back to your hand, right? Or something like
But
that.
you can overload it.
But you can overload it for a cost of 6. And it basically like returns everything back to your opponent's hand.
Oh wow.
So it works really well in Commander. And I have one. I think the card's valued at like $40 right now.
Yeah, it's actually it depends on which version. There's one that's 63, and then there's one that's worth like 26.
I got it in the Ravnica set. So I don't remember what the symbol looks for that one. I think it's a trident with a little sticky at the bottom. But yeah, no, it just depends on the use on the card. That's all it is.
That's what I mean though, is that it depends on regionals as well, because
Mm-hmm.
there could be a deck that is no one is playing. Like absolutely, there's a format that nobody plays, nobody wants it. Everything else.
I remember hearing that. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Always whenever a new set came out, and then like when regionals would happen, cards would jump up in price and stuff like that.
Because immediately it was like, oh, he used Karibo or he used that.
Sword Soul is the most latest
Yeah.
example. Sword Soul was like an archetype that came out not too long ago. Everything, it was kind of cool. It was fun. Then they started like going meta at regionals, and I had cards that were worth like 10 cents jump up to like 27. And they're like bulk cards. They're my common cards. I had them in the bulk section. Gina, as you guys know, he came in. He's like, we need to go through the bulk. Why? Everybody wants to get Sword Soul. Oh, everybody wants to get Sword Soul. Why? Because it does it. And he's just like, just verbal, like just diarrhea all over me. And I was like, ah. And he's like, so we got through it, and then just basically all these 10-cent useless cards jumped up to the point where it was worth hundreds and hundreds of dollars that were just sitting in a little white box.
I was telling you last night how I remember one specific set. It was Gate Crash for Magic the Gathering, and they started introducing the charms and stuff like that. So I remember one card called it was a uncommon Boris charm. We would sell it on retail on the day of release of Gate Crash. I remember specifically that we sold it for 75 cents a pop. One guy came in and bought them all. I come to find out when people do that, I do look it up and I'm like, oh crap. They were online. They sell online for $5 a pop after that because it became super. People realizing when you run it with certain ways, it's a much better card.
Yeah.
Well, that and that's the thing though, is that because like I remember buying a couple of like boxes right when they came out, and right when I bought the box, I then opened up the packs and went, okay, cool. I'm gonna take all these cards that look pretty cool, and I'm gonna try and sell them back to the guy. And the guy legitimately told me, I'm not gonna buy them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why? They're dope cards. They look really cool and everything like that. And he goes, it's day one. I'm not gonna buy anything.
Yeah,
he
it
goes,
drops.
he goes,
it's gonna drop.
He goes, I'm gonna wait 2 weeks. He goes, usually I wait 2 to 3 weeks, and then I see where the market kind of like bottoms out, and then I'll start buying. He goes, you're buying on day one. He goes, I'll never buy cards that day.
Yeah, I remember. Again, this is the same thing when the Return of Ravnica came out and all the new Planeswalkers, but they were being reprinted like Jace the Mind Sculptor and stuff like that. I remember when people did the tournaments for Return of Ravnica, they would sell me Jace the Mind Sculptor, and I was like, oh well, I can't buy it right now. You go, why? Because it's the same thing. Like it just came out. I can't. It's surging in price.
It's like $200 right now.
Yeah, that's the thing, and I can't give it to you for that budget right now.
But that's the crazy thing though, is the market said, oh, this card is $200, and then 2 weeks later it plummets to 50 cents.
It dropped to like $20. I remember at one point. Jace the Mind Sculptor.
It's because the more you open packs, the more it's available in the market. The more you try and sell for people who want to like buy and sell their cards.
Yeah.
But there's also whales. Do you guys know what whales are?
Just people who are just holding on, hoarding.
Yes and no. So there was a gentleman that came into the store, and he was a little bit on the booger sugar. You know what I'm saying? So he was just like on it, and he wanted to buy all of these specific cards, but just like a bunch of them. And I was like, well, this is kind of odd. He's like, I just came back from Vegas. Whoa.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Party time, baby. Well, what'd you do in Vegas? I was buying all these cards. He's like, I'm part of this group. We buy all these cards. Okay, why? Because then we sell it to each other. It's like, for what? He goes, for the value that we think we want to sell.
For money.
Yeah. So he's like, if I buy all these cards.
I roll it up.
Yeah. Because the way he explains it is like, we buy all these cards for $20. And then we have stacks of them, hundreds of stacks of these cards for $20. So it's a bunch of them, and then we sell it to each other in increments, 30, 40, 50, 60, and then start manipulating the market.
Yeah.
And then when they feel it's comfortable, then next you know, they have all these hundreds of cards they bought for 20 that are now worth 60, 80, or 100 or $200.
Because they've been affecting the market around them.
Yeah, they're called whales. Yeah. So this guy was just explaining it, and he was like on his phone. He's like, look at this. He showed me all the groups of all the stuff that they do, and I was all like, oh my god, this guy just Morpheus me. I'm just like, oh my god,
Yeah.
oh my god, he's breaking. I was like,
He's breaking the matrix.
this is real. This couch isn't real.
Yeah.
Oh my god, all these techno EDM music isn't real either. It's just the steak.
No,
steak.
And you do, and that's the crazy thing is because you can have a small minority of people who are just affecting the vast majority of the market,
Yeah.
and it's crazy.
But on day one, when they releases, the biggest moves are done by the general consumer market.
Yeah.
Right. So it's kind of like everybody's opening up the packs. It's surging in prices because people might have opened up the boxes in pre-release, or if they got it a week before, and etc. And everybody's like, the market's just surging until it relaxes, because that's when the community decides what the value is, what they're willing to pay for the card. That's the biggest thing. What you're willing to pay for the card decides what the value of the card is. People talk about supply and demand and how it's printed, but in Los Angeles, in our area, for people who are not out of here, who might have to drive 30, 40 an hour to their local LGS, for us, it's everywhere. It's available. You can go to any, and liquor stores will have it. You can just buy your packs and buy your cards. So when we decide this card is worth $50, you're not going to spend more than $50, it starts to tank. So I have to, like, as an owner, have to do like my market analysis and like really pay attention to like these graphs and see what's really like worth the value and how I can sell it to people at a value that they're going to want. Like the 3 captains deck that I have right now, the trending, they were selling for like $40 or whatever, right? MSRP is $30. You know what? $30, go for it all day. Let's do it until I run out. Because then I have to reach the secondary market. That means I have to buy for a higher price that I get from my distributor, because I have to come to a deal. I'll be like, yo, how much do you want for that deck? $40. Well, okay, what if I buy 10? I don't know, 35. What if I buy 20? I can do like 28. Cool. Can you do 25? Sure. Cool. Get it for 25. And then I'll sell it for like 35, make $10 or maybe $5, depending on how the market, because the market could crash the very next day. And then I'm just like, oh, you know, I'll make $1 or $2 off each one. But as long as people like Bryan or you guys want to come in and just play the game and enjoy the third space, that's what matters, right? Because it's not a coffee shop. You're not going to come in and buy that and leave. Where are you going to go play? You know, where are you going to go?
Where you don't get judged.
You know?
Yeah, I do have one final question for you before we wrap up the show pretty soon, because we're about to reach the 1:30 mark. Out of every card game that you sell at prime time, which has the most stable price in terms of like singles? Because what I'm noticing is like Magic is a perfect example, because I do Magic and Pokemon. Magic, the single card's price is dependent on how useful it is for a commander deck.
Yes,
right.
The majority. There's different formats.
There's a couple different ones, and it kind of, you can dip into that market where like people will up the price because it's a rare art, or you know, like that's when the price goes up. Pokemon, what I've noticed is that you could get cards for cheap because they print out a lot of, you know, cards that you might use in tournaments and stuff. So there'll be the occasional. I think Mew was like expensive because it was the card that was winning tournaments,
but it was a specific Mew.
It was a specific Mew.
Because also remember, in Pokemon, it's not just I bought a Mew; it's I had to buy a Mew from this pack, because its abilities are different from any other Mew that I might have gotten.
It was written, it was done differently. But where I'm noticing that the market tends to skyrocket up is the artwork for Pokemon. So there's a lot of cards that people will sell singles that the card might not be useful for anything. It might not even be used for like to build decks or anything, but it's the art that sells.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people, we were talking about this, the Charizard in the 151 collection, the secret art one, where Charizard's like this tiny compared to the giant card. People were overselling it, or overpricing it, but not a lot of people really cared for it because Charizard was like a little tiny grain of salt.
Yeah, and everybody was like, why is everybody freaking out over this card? I don't get it.
Yeah. But me as a Charizard fan, I get it, because you can stack the 3 cards up and you get Charmander, Charmeleon, and Charizard.
Yeah, the no-neck Charizard.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just I don't know if you guys, for you audio listeners, is a no neck Charizard. He kind of looks like the guy from 90 Day. It's 90 Day Fiance.
Oh,
Big Ed?
Big Ed. Yeah, he looks
Yeah.
like that's Big Ed Charizard form flying over. Like he had no neck. I was like, that is not even a dragon at that point,
Yeah.
bro. It's a thumb.
If you guys
That's
don't
with the
know,
wing.
Noel's a huge advocate for reality TV trash.
I am 100%.
Dude, everyone is. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Are you kidding me?
So, to go back to the question, what is the most stable in terms of single price?
All right, the way I'm gonna break it down is Magic is the most stable,
Really?
and the reason why is because Magic the Gathering doesn't provide an MSRP. It just whatever the market decides. So sometimes sets can be terrible.
Anarchy.
Yeah.
The sets can be terrible, and I have to decide up to the week before when I have my my pre-orders. See, a lot of us we have to make our pre-orders 6 months in advance.
Yeah.
I have no idea how good the set's gonna be. I just know what my price is gonna be.
Oh yeah.
And then when it comes in, I'm just like, it's worth less than what I'm paying. Good God.
Yeah.
I
That's how
gotta
it is
figure
with
this
comic
out.
books. We have to order 3 months in advance, so we don't know.
Same thing, right?
what's gonna be
and what's
hot.
gonna be good, how much in this day, how much to hold on to.
Yeah.
And hopefully it'll build value later if the stories get better, if there's a second wave or whatever.
That's the thing. Yeah.
Magic doesn't have an MSRP, so on the retail side, it's booty. Like it just can be so hard to gauge sometimes for us, and I try to keep it fair because sometimes TCG player could be on the week release, it start to dip a little bit or just surges out of control. Where I'm not gonna charge somebody $500 for a Lord of the Rings collector set. Well, I'll do $380. Sell me out. Go for it. Dare you. $380 all day. Sell it.
Yeah.
You want to go $500 everywhere else? That's fine. That's your choice. I'll have it here for $380. Oh, a week could drop down to like $420. All right, cool. $300 flat. Let's run it. Let's go. Because they inflated so high. It should be going by what market decides, but that's not fair for my play group. The people that come in every week, I can't expect them to drop $500 per box. It's
Have you
not
been
fair.
getting questions for the Fallout set?
Yes and no, because you can pre-order on Amazon. So just letting you know, a lot of us are a little peaked by it
Yeah.
because you can order it on Amazon. So we're having a tough situation with it where the price on Amazon is actually really good. And so like you say, oh, there's no MSRP. Well, you just kind of just provided one, and that's kind of like
the baseline.
It's not that great.
See,
So
you
for
can't do
Magic, for the cards, because there is no MSRP, the cost that you get to buy into it can vary based on whatever the consumer decides how much you're willing to pay for it. That's the most stable because the cards are only as expensive as how good they are in the game. You have the alternate art and stuff like that, but so you can look at some of the alternate pretty arts cards in Magic that may not be worth a lot of money, be like $1, maybe less, but you want that card in your deck because that's how it runs. Pokemon has an MSRP and they keep increasing it, but the value in those decks aren't that great. So it makes it kind of tough. So for Pokemon, I would say as a buyer, this is the funnest one.
That's the funnest
It's
one.
the funnest one because the price that you're paying for box kind of equals out to the value you're gonna get. The 151 Ultra Premium Collection, for example, if you priced it out for like the first 2 weeks, it was worth like close to $200. So for MSRP of 120 is great. You get a play mat and you do also. I think you bought one, right?
I bought one.
Yeah, you bought one. So it's pretty good, and you get the 3 promo cards and the promo
Still
cards.
unopened.
You should open it pretty soon.
I know.
Yeah,
2 weeks from now.
There you go. Now you know. 2 weeks from now. So that's pretty good in terms of like what you can buy to get. The single market more stable is in Magic. For Sealed, the funnest one would be Pokemon because everybody knows it. Lorcana, everybody knows the lore, but it's really hard to get your hands on it. Digimon is the cheapest way to get into a fun game. Most booster boxes go for $30.
It's not bad.
It's pretty good. You can start building decks for
It's
after
also
that.
Digimon.
No?
Yeah, it's also Digimon.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah. But the Digimon game is pretty good. Usually there was a lot of hype in the beginning, and then because they thought it was gonna do
Better?
not that great,
Oh,
so they didn't print that much. And then they liked how this worked. They're like, oh, cool. And then everybody likes the game, awesome. And then they overprinted it, and now it's like everywhere, available everywhere. One Piece is kind of like that right now, where it's kind of like it's trying to find that middle ground where it's not as expensive in the secondary market.
so are we saying that Yu-Gi-Oh is the worst market?
No, so I would say when it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh, it's not much of a collector's game. It is a player-based game where the archetypes are so solidified, like Neos. Neos hasn't gotten a lot of support in a very long time. But if they did come out with a box that, hey, all your old Neos decks, everybody who watched GX, you now have this support.
Well, they just did it a couple of like 2 boxes ago, I think, where Neo started getting like little tiny
some
supports.
support, but not enough for it to go meta.
Yes.
Now you can play Neos for fun, but you still buy Neos. You still want to buy those packs and those
Yes.
cards. So it's like you want to jump into it because you have an interest in the like. I want the Gungan ship. I want to make a Gungan ship deck where all the battleships that's based on like Japanese Navy stuff.
Yes.
It's all.
Is that where
sushi.
the fusions combine and
No.
make a big ol'?
No, it's like mecha fusion.
Food, no, it's mecha food. They're literally sushi. It's called Gungan ships. They're little sushi ones.
that one.
It looks like they're building a ship in a port, but in reality, it's a little sashimi little wrap thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you can make a whole. So somebody came to a tournament where they had a sushi boat as their playmat, and they actually like had to like.
That's awesome.
You know?
But that's what, and I do feel like that is like one of the benefits of Yu-Gi-Oh is that even if it's a bottom of the barrel like archetype, if you know how to play it, you can make it work.
There's one archetype in Yu-Gi-Oh that's mostly made out of commons. It's called Philandries. Everybody started building those decks right off the bat. That deck, the meta, the lore is it's birds that go on an adventure, picking up more birds along the way as their friends.
That's cute.
It's adorable.
But the cards they lock you out because even though you can build out mostly out of commons and uncommons, it says that we can only normal summon. You can't do all your special
Yes.
blah 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 stuff. It's just normal summon. I was like, except for me, I can multiple normal summon.
Yes.
And you just keep dropping birds, having fun. That's all you do, and then just lock people out. You can't link away. You can't do all that stuff. Like you're just dropping birds, having fun, and then just bang.
But and that's the interesting thing because I find that awesome in Yu-Gi-Oh, where it's just whatever you're planning, my plan is way better than yours.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna have fun over here playing with my birds or playing with my dragons,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna do all these other things, and you can't do nothing about it.
So I would say Yu-Gi-Oh is really fun that way. Pokemon is really enjoyable. Magic is very strategic in the way you think and how you want to build your deck. So that's how I would break it down. But I would say Digimon and One Piece made by Bandai, they play almost identical to each other. They're super fast, super great. Digimon, I'm telling you, it's just super fun because it's so cheap to get. Like me and the guys, we went to Frankensons and we dropped hundreds of dollars and we came back with like tons of boxes.
He's starting to sound like a drug dealer.
Uh,
It's a gateway drug.
No, because it got me. You know what it is? You know what it is? It's a G Fuel, baby.
No, but
I got the vitamin C in
Hold on.
me.
Listen, guys,
First
you
off,
want a good gateway drug? Oh, Digimon, dude. I heard Digimon is great, dude.
First off, cardboard crack is awesome. Okay.
I'm not saying
but that's the thing though, is that when you're getting into TCG card games, board games, anything like that, expect it could be cheap if I want to just stop, at this one thing.
Mm-hmm.
But eventually you're gonna go, I want to get bigger. I want to go better. I want to do a different thing. this thing sounds
I
interesting.
want to have more
get
fun.
into it.
Hit me with the best stuff. What you
Yeah,
got?
because
Give me that underground stuff, dude. What you got under?
One of my buddies started getting like he started telling Andrew because he only plays with his samurais and then he had like another one and that was it.
Is it 6 Ams?
Yeah, 6 Ams.
Oh yeah, solitaire. I call it solitaire because you start putting like counters everywhere.
Yeah, you're just putting counters.
That's
on
the
them.
thing that I've noticed with Yu-Gi-Oh is that deck building for Yu-Gi-Oh. Again, I don't like the player base for Yu-Gi-Oh. I've been wanting to go to your beginner tournaments that you
Yeah.
have on Mondays
Yeah.
because I really want to meet some people that aren't jerks
Yeah.
with Yu-Gi-Oh. But what I love about it is that your deck is your personality.
True.
100%.
Yeah, and it's so interesting because I refuse to
100%.
not use a Red Eyes deck, and I want to figure out a way to make Red Eyes work
You should.
because Red Eyes, like I said, favorite card.
That's why, because when I made a troll deck, that was 100% my personality of just like
Yeah.
I'm just sitting there going like, oh, you want to win. Oh, and then like as soon as they start blowing things up and like they're kind of destroying your field, and they're like, I'm gonna whoop his butt right now. I
Yeah.
cannot wait to just beat him up. And then you're just waiting, and then they go, I would like to hit you for 8,000, and you're just like, oh, I would like to stop everything you're doing. Just no attack. You end your turn and you lose. And it's like, I hate you so much.
The interesting thing about Yu-Gi-Oh right now that I've been noticing a lot of people doing, they're mixing archetypes.
Yeah.
So that's like a thing where you can get the Red Eyes and mix it with a different archetype that you kind of vibe with, just to take it the next level.
That's what I'll probably do.
Just to speed it up.
Yeah.
Noel, to wrap up the show, anything you want to plug in? Like I said, there's a lot of stuff on your socials and Primetime Collectibles Instagram.
Yeah.
If you guys aren't following his Instagram, everything will be in the description. Go check it out because he posts on the daily. I think you had a sale
We
that
still
was-
have the sale.
we
So
do.
check this out, guys. Listen to me. We got a 20% off everything except TCG because we just talked about the cost. And you understand now why it's hard for us to do sales on TCG.
Yeah.
Right.
20% off everything except TCG and 40% off the pop. So if you want to jump into early Thanksgiving shopping, get the Christmas going, get stuff for get stuff for your office people, your coworkers, the things you're like kind of I kind of want to get them something. I'm gonna get them this like $15 pop for like $7, $5 or whatever, and just kind of like bam, like oh my god, this pop is worth like $20. Like yeah, because I love you, baby. You know what I'm saying? We got it. We got it.
That's you to your coworker.
Yeah. You can just kind of like pass it off. It's easy way, easy win. Just get ready for the kiddos
Just
and all that stuff.
Don't over decorate your office space because I already got threatened.
Why?
Really?
Yeah,
You're
so-
that guy.
Yeah.
You're that guy.
What did you decorate your
shame
office?
So
on
I
you.
have my Rad X pill from that I got at or bottle that I got at LA Comic Con like 4 years ago, and a bunch of like Fallout stuff, and then my wife started collecting the 100th anniversary Disney
Wait,
things.
don't you work in the medical field?
I do.
Why would you
So-
put a Red X bottle? pill-
Funny story.
No.
Do you want
Dude,
me to tell you the story real quick?
That's poison, bro. You're
Okay.
basically saying that we
my
sell
office is
poison.
poison.
here.
No.
We sell poison. Welcome to hell. And Tom Cruise is gonna pop out of his teeth.
Finish your promo.
Starts hitting
And
you
then
with
I'll
a
end
samurai
it.
sword. The last one. Why is he the last one when there's tons of others? I don't know.
Finish the ad because then I got. I'll wrap it up with
We're
the
also
story.
running Bitmap at Whittier College. Shout out to Whittier College. Shout out to the Uptown Association, Justin, for helping us out, move along with this. We're making some last minute adjustments. Some people did pull out. We're still gonna run TCG. We're having a regional Smash tournament. We're bringing in some power players and all that stuff. I'll be posting an update today. We're gonna have a little small artist alley. Get all that stuff going. Hopefully it doesn't rain that day, but you know what? If you're playing TCG, that's the spot to go to. And we have a sale going. And then I haven't even gone into Black Friday stuff, but I will be posting some stuff there. So if the 20% off isn't enough for you, we're gonna hit you even harder after
How about
that.
after
How
Thanksgiving?
about this? Because if anything, we'll probably help promote. If anything,
Yeah.
You cool with that?
Yeah. That's fine.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So if there's any announcements, we'll post it on our
I
socials.
totally
But
forgot Black Friday's coming up.
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But we'll post it. Once you share it, we'll share it on our side.
Perfect.
Help each other.
Yeah.
Help each other
No
out.
problem.
Yeah, and then when you guys start, I know you guys are gonna go to the Comic Fest.
Yeah.
Swing by over there if you guys want to. Let me know. I'm working on getting some food. I'm getting hungry right now too. But we're gonna be doing some
There's
stuff
3
there.
cookies here.
Yeah, because we haven't gotten to the cookies, bro. Get the cookies. Just chow into it right now. Fast as you
Just
can.
do it.
Yeah, Tom Cruise. I'm never gonna let it go. I'm sorry. It's just his teeth.
It's his teeth.
That's how you know I'm in hell. It's just-
Well, they're fake, right?
Yeah, I know. That was the whole thing with The Last Samurai when he popped up. It's like, oh, he fixed his teeth. And I was like, I never paid attention to his teeth. And the whole movie, I'm just all like, them some chompers for sure. Woo! How much he paid for them? So.
All the information for Primetime Collectibles and NOL will be in the description wherever you guys are listening to. So go check it out. Go support. Tell them we sent you guys. Show them some love, guys, because TCG is a great community. You make a great community.
Thank
First
you.
of all, you do.
It
So,
It takes a village.
because
for
we've
sure.
talked about TCG in a couple issues here, and we're negative about it, but that's because we've been in negative spaces, and it's good to hear someone who has something here in Uptown Whittier.
I don't know why you keep saying we. I'm very positive about TCG.
It's
That's
because
true.
you're the negative. You're the troll.
I'm in.
You
TCG.
influence. You're the poison in the well, dude.
But I want to say something. We didn't talk about any of the stuff you guys normally talk about.
No, we don't. No.
So
It's okay.
how about we turn this into part 1, part 2? We dive into it because I want to talk about how mid Ahsoka was for me. I want to talk about Attack on Titan could have been better and how everybody's saying it was 10 years of their life, even though it was 3 seasons. Yeah, get a life, guys.
Can we? Should we?
We
We'll
can
talk
do a
about it after.
0.5.
Yeah,
we'll
we
do
can
a
do a
let's
point
wrap this
five.
up.
Yeah,
We'll
we'll
do
wrap
it,
this
yeah.
up.
That's
So we
fine.
can
This
talk
stuff we
about
could
Miss
talk
Marvel.
about. Yeah.
Yeah, that we could talk about. We could add.
We can do
Miss
the
Marvel
comic
now.
strips. It'll be a Friday. I don't know. We'll figure it
We'll
out.
figure it out.
Yeah.
We can keep recording.
Yeah.
More of a headache. Oh my god. Okay, should I tell the story in the part 5 then? The
Yeah.
point 5?
Yeah, put it in there.
All right. Yeah, there it is.
You have a story?
Guys, yeah,
What's the
the Red X.
Why he has the
bottle.
Red X?
yeah.
Someone. So they're like a little
Selling
bit of
drugs.
Yeah, no. So little bit of a little context to it, real quick. Yeah, we'll do it in the other half, but the story, just to kind of give you an idea, someone broke into our office, and there was a little bit of a fear in me because of what was there. So I'll tell you guys in the story afterwards.
Oh my God!
Yes.
Control H. Oh no!
All right.
Still there.
I don't know how this is going to work because there's a lot of content that is released this week. But guys, check out the YouTube channel. No, don't woo. You're not in it.
Woo!
Can I give him responsibilities?
G Fuel, baby.
Can I give
Whoa!
him?
It's hitting me
What
like a
responsibilities
truck.
is that?
I-
It's hitting me like
Either
a
manage
truck.
the websites, do the shorts, do something. I can't do everything at this point.
Big
whatever.
people eating little people.
Guys, go check out our YouTube channel. Check out our
Next.
socials,
OnlyFans.
Instagram, Facebook, X. Check out our
Okay,
audio
you too have
platforms
an
as well.
OnlyFans.
Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Podbean.
Especially during
Not
the
Google.
holidays, because you can just make gingerbread men.
And
Oh my God.
guys,
Oh, that's one of the cookies.
keep an eye out on all our platforms because content will be releasing this week. We have issue 172.5, which is about Comic Fest, directly from Eric. Issue 173, which is about Primetime Collectibles, and Noel right here.
Yes.
And then we're going to be doing a 73.5 apparently because now we're going to be talking about news and
Yeah,
doing that.
we
So
gotta talk
that
about
will
that
be
stuff.
Noel
released.
wants to talk about
Yeah, we'll
news.
have another round of Providence Bakery for sure. How's that?
Can you not chew into the mic?
No,
No.
you need to know.
I will literally
Here.
I'll throw this cup of water.
Try this one.
I will drown you.
You just-
I will try.
That's not water.
You know you want. He toasted it. Look, he hit
I
it.
know.
Get it.
All right.
Get in there.
Grab the script. We're gonna close it out.
This is right there.
Oh yeah, you're right. Take
Wait,
that.
is that the right one?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that
Guys-
what you use for timekeeping?
Yeah, you did.
Now.
Is that what you
Guys,
did?
thank you so much for joining us here. Keeping Up with the Nerds, issue 173. Noel, please sign us out.
You just read it.
No, read that.
The top part?
The
No,
bottom.
The bottom one, it says
The
you
outro.
Oh.
This is outro above it.
Yeah.
This one?
Yes.
You literally just read it.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
Read it again.
This has been Keeping Up with the Nerds. Issue 171.
3. What's
73.
Yeah.
Round 2. This has been Keeping Up with the Nerds, issue 173. My name is Noel. Yeah, your local dweeb. Don't forget to support your local dweebs. These guys are here, also dweebs. This is me, Nick, Rene, Bryan. Cannibalism okay. Don't make out with heads. We'll see you next time.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.